2025 postseason baseball sponsorship video. I want to say thank you to all the fine folks that jumped on board with us and supported this Bobcat postseason baseball run. Your live production will be back on shortly. Hey, we're excited about this one. A new business in town in God's country. It's owner-operator Amber Murray and her company Indulge. And let me tell you a little bit about them. They're Corning's elite facial and lash spa. They're located at 615 North Missouri Street there in Corning, Arkansas. And they're proud to provide a range, and I mean a long range of superior services, including basic facials, gentlemen's facials, hydrofacials, anti-aging facials with LED light, microdermabrasion, dermaplaning, lash extensions, lash lift and tints, brow wax with tinting, permanent jewelry, spray tanning, and more. All you got to do is get a hold of them, book an appointment. Feel free to call or even text. How about that? An owner giving out their cell phone, 870-809-0229. Again, that's Amber Murray, Indulge at 615 North Missouri Street, 870-809-0229. She's wishing the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run. Next up on our sponsor video slideshow is a familiar face. It is the Sherd family. We appreciate them for jumping on board yet again with us here for the Bobcat postseason run. They want to wish the Bobcats the best of luck and that they are extremely proud of the season that they've had this year, and we're extremely proud of them for always supporting us. You see number 7 there, Rocket Man Rex, as we like to call him. That's Rex Sherd. Obviously, they're wishing him a great long postseason run. The Sherd family from Corning, Arkansas. And another familiar face with us here at CSR. It's Nutrient Ag Solutions, always supporting us. We appreciate them, and especially Mr. James Varvel, who does so much for the community and also for Corning Athletics. We sincerely appreciate him. Nutrient Ag Solutions, want to wish the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run. Here's a good friend of ours, a staffer of ours, and also a great sponsor of ours. It's Mr. Mike Townsend and his company, Mike Townsend Farms, LLC. We appreciate Mike jumping on board with us and sponsoring yet again. He may be here today to help us. He's one of our staffers we can always kind of count on, so we appreciate him. For all your hauling needs, call Mike, 870-926-2119. He wants to wish the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run. Energy Infusion Center, downtown Corning, Arkansas. Great friends of ours, and more importantly, great people in our community. That's Miss Debbie and Bud Hill, who have always supported us here at CSR, except this time with a little different twist. That's right. The Energy Infusion Center is such a unique place is the right word. Only one of 500 in the world. You heard that right. Only one of 500 in the world on the planet Earth, on our globe. And we've got one right here in God's country, Corning, Arkansas. Holds up to 12 people per night. Guys, that's a lot. Take your whole family if you want to. In fact, it's only $150 to spend those 12 hours overnight. How about that? That's cheaper than most hotels, guys. Plus, the important stuff, you're getting the healing factors that your body really needs. I love this idea. In fact, some of our Bobcat athletes that you are watching right now in this live stream went there to help heal their bodies after games. Downtown Corning, Arkansas, at Debbie Rose Massage. It is Energy Infusion Center. Reach them at 573-480-7819, and they're wishing the Bobcats the best of luck. Hey, it's never too late to be a sponsor here with us in the postseason. Only $100 to get your ads ran and support our, hopefully, crossing fingers, long run here for Bobcat postseason baseball. Get hold of myself and Earls. You can call, text me, 501-413-9715, or whatever platform you're watching this on. Message us on that page or channel, and we'll get a hold of you. Wishing the Bobcats the best of luck in this baseball postseason run. Welcome to our CSR 2025 postseason baseball sponsorship video. I want to say thank you to all the fine folks that jumped on board with us and supported this Bobcat postseason baseball run. Your live production will be back on shortly. Hey, we're excited about this one. A new business in town in God's country. It's owner-operator Amber Murray and her company Indulge. And let me tell you a little bit about them. They're Corning's elite facial and lash spa. They're located at 615 North Missouri Street there in Corning, Arkansas. And they're proud to provide a range, and I mean a long range of superior services, including basic facials, gentlemen's facials, hydrofacials, anti-aging facials with LED light, microdermabrasion,
dermaplaning, lash extensions, lash lift and tints, brow wax with tinting, permanent jewelry, spray tanning, and more. All you got to do is get a hold of them. Book an appointment. Feel free to call or even text. How about that? An owner giving out their cell phone, 870-809-0229. Again, that's Amber Murray in Dulge at 615 North Missouri Street, 870-809-0229. She's wishing the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run. Next up on our sponsor video slideshow is a familiar face. It is the Sherd family. We appreciate them for jumping on board yet again with us here for the Bobcat postseason run. They want to wish the Bobcats the best of luck and that they are extremely proud of the season that they've had this year, and we're extremely proud of them for always supporting us. You see number 7 there, Rocket Man Rex, as we like to call him. That's Rex Sherd. Obviously, they're wishing him a great, long postseason run. The Sherd family from Corning, Arkansas. And another familiar face with us here at CSR. It's Nutrient Ag Solutions, always supporting us. We appreciate them, and especially Mr. James Varvel, who does so much for the community and also for Corning Athletics. We sincerely appreciate him. Nutrient Ag Solutions, want to wish the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run. Here's a good friend of ours, a staffer of ours, and also a great sponsor of ours. It's Mr. Mike Townsend and his company, Mike Townsend Farms, LLC. We appreciate Mike jumping on board with us and sponsoring yet again. He may be here today to help us. He's one of our staffers we can always kind of count on, so we appreciate him. For all your hauling needs, call Mike, 870-926-2119. He wants to wish the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run.
Energy Infusion Center, downtown Corning, Arkansas. Great friends of ours, and more importantly, great people in our community. That's Miss Debbie and Bud Hill, who have always supported us here at CSR, except this time with a little different twist. That's right. The Energy Infusion Center is such a unique place is the right word. Only one of 500 in the world. You heard that right. Only one of 500 in the world on the planet Earth, on our globe. And we've got one right here in God's country, Corning, Arkansas. Holds up to 12 people per night. Guys, that's a lot. Take your whole family if you want to. In fact, it's only $150 to spend those 12 hours overnight. How about that? That's cheaper than most hotels, guys. Plus, the important stuff, you're getting the healing factors that your body really needs. I love this idea. In fact, some of our Bobcat athletes that you are watching right now in this live stream went there to help heal their bodies after games. Downtown Corning, Arkansas, at Debbie Rose Massage is Energy Infusion Center. Reach them at 573-480-7819, and they're wishing the Bobcats the best of luck.
Hey, it's never too late to be a sponsor here with us in the postseason. Only $100 to get your ads ran and support our, hopefully, crossing fingers, long run here for Bobcat postseason baseball. Get hold of myself, Andy Earls. You can call, text me, 501-413-9715, or whatever platform you're watching this on. Message us on that page or channel, and we'll get a hold of you. Wishing the Bobcats the best of luck in this baseball postseason run. Welcome to our CSR 2025 postseason baseball sponsorship video. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Corning Sports Report's live coverage of some Corning Bobcat postseason. I love saying that. Postseason baseball. We are excited to be here in Bowdoin, Arkansas for the regional 2-2A baseball tournament. This is the third place game. Our beloved Corning Bobcats will be battling the mighty Riverside Rebels, and we've played them twice this year. And the old adage yet again, hard to beat team 3 times. Andy Earls here on the headset alongside me. Good buddy of mine, Mr. Joe Jett. He's going to jump on board with us today. Joe, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Man, I am wore out is what I am. I am tired.
You got too many jobs.
I do. I'm tired. I'm wore out. I need a nap. That thing called sleep, I haven't seen it in a while. So, but no, it's a blessing, though. There's a lot of people busier than I am, I'm sure, in life. And especially you. You're a busy man, too, now.
Yeah, but, man, when your grandkids are playing ball, you know, you got to drop what you're doing and make time, you know.
There you go. I like that. I like that. Family man, and I can respect that. Guys, I'm trying to get us the scoreboard here today. Hey, I want to apologize ahead of time. We won't have as good of a production as we normally do, and I apologize for that. I didn't even think I'd be here today. We couldn't get anybody to help today. You know, Joe, it's hard to get good help.
Well, that's what my wife keeps telling me.
She tells him that emphatically, too, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, Joe. So have you been able to watch Riverside this year?
Yeah, we've been to twice. Ben Hoggard, Northeast Arkansas baseball guy.
Yeah.
Biggers Reno area, played ball at Corning, so he's got some Corning ties. Little league Babe Ruth type stuff.
He's a good player too, by the way.
Good player, all around good guy.
Yep.
Team does a good job. He has playing fundamental baseball, and they're a lot of fun to watch.
They are a well-coached team, and that just kind of speaks to the character of Ben Hoggard. And I've always had a lot of respect for him, his family. I seen Zach yesterday. I was up here. I don't know if he's here today or not, but hadn't seen him in forever. But really good people, and I'm proud of what he's done there, man. They've built a team that, he was telling me late in the year, Joe, he had a hard time getting anybody to schedule games with him late in the year.
Yeah. You just look at the number of kids he has on his roster, tells you all you need to know about his program and how his community thinks about him and want to play for him.
Amen to that. I assume what we're doing here is getting ready for national anthem, I would think. So what I will do, if that is the case, I'm going to go off the headset for just a second in respect to that. And guys, this is our national anthem. And as always, we want to commend the Sloan-Hendrix faculty, AD, Mr. Rorex, the coaches, the students, everybody, the folks at the gate there, the folks in concession, for doing a good job of hosting this tournament. It's people think, oh, we're hosting a tournament, it's a lot of fun, but in reality, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of stress.
Yeah, I remember back during the day, we do some at Corning every so often, and not a lot of sleep going on back during those high school days back when you played.
No, that's been many moons ago, many moons ago. I do remember those, though, and I miss those, man. I miss the glory days. It's kind of nice to talk about those, and I appreciate everything that you did for us back then as well, and you were always a good role model and father figure for us as a coach. And I'll tell you something else. I'm about to swallow a fly there. That would have been bad. I'll tell you something else, too. You and your family has been instrumental in always supporting our athletics, our school, and our community. And I just want to say thank you. I got you on the spot there, so I just want to say that and get that out of the way. I know if anybody bleeds Bobcat gold, black and gold, it's that Jet family. So
well, we appreciate it, but it's also a lot of fun being around the kids and watching you kids grow up and become productive citizens in the community, too. You know, we're seeing kids now that back when I coached Little League and Babe Ruth, you know, seeing in high school ball, seeing these kids in high school baseball, and, you know, my team players, their kids playing now, and that's kind of a cool thing, you know, seeing everything come full circle here.
That's exactly right. I know, like you said, seeing these kids out here play these Jet kids, and yesterday, holy smokes, Jackson in that first game, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
To do what he did, and then there at the end for them to give him an opportunity was kind of mind-blowing to me. I really thought a guy with 3 RBIs and who's had a heck of a day, and first base is open, and but, man, they went at him.
You know, the cool thing about baseball is, you know, the baseball is always going to find the kid, right?
It does.
You know what I mean? Whether it's in the field or
it really does.
At the plate, it's always going to find the person in the moment.
And folks, I do not have a lineup card for Riverside, and that's not Riverside's fault. That's my fault. I came in so late. I was hoping to have someone else do this today. I was at the festival down there trying to run all that, and so that's my fault because Ben Hoggard would have 100% given me one. So I want to apologize to the Riverside fans for not having a lineup card for them. So I don't know. You got one? Okay. So I don't know who's on the mound there, although they do have names on the back of their jersey, I think, so that may help us out. Here's what I do know. This kid at the plate, I know him pretty well, Jackson Jett. He's going to lead it off for the Bobcats, and here comes the first pitch of the day, and it's at the knees for a strike. You know, Joe, I seen Jackson yesterday a couple times ambush that first pitch, and it seems like he kind of likes that first pitch. Now, he took it there, but is that something he talks about? Have you heard him talk about that?
You know, it's just –
Joe's about to choke over here. Same with me earlier. I don't know if I had a fly come around or what it was, but either way, we've got an 0-2 count on Jackson.
Yeah, you know, to your question, you know, he early in the year he wants to always try to ambush the first pitch, and then he's not beyond trying to go deep into the count either.
Yep. Beautiful off-speed pitch there from Richardson, it looks like, the pitcher for Riverside. That curveball had some good bend on it. Swung through and missed. That's 1 up, 1 down for the Bobcats here. Top of the first in Bowdoin, Arkansas, Sloan-Hendrix High School. That's where this is a brand new field, by the way. It kind of worked out for them where they had a softball and baseball, enough room for both. And so pretty cool thing for them. Wow. Well, that's a nasty pitch there, Joe.
Yeah, start them out with an off-speed curveball. That'd be something to pay attention to. The kids on deck, pay attention to that.
Yeah, and you got to have a lot of confidence. Obviously, you want to pitch ahead, so if you come out there throwing your curveball at first, you got a lot of confidence in your location and your command of that pitch.
Yeah, absolutely, because you always want to try to get that first strike out of the way.
Yep. Richardson pitches from the first base side of the rubber, out of the stretch. I find that interesting. It seems like more and more kids now are pitching out of the stretch, even with no one on. Is that something – I can't remember back in our day. Did we see much of that?
No, not really. I think that's something coming along in the last few years, but kids are comfortable doing that, and so – coaches, they seem like the kids comfortable just doing that, just stay there, not having to change their motion up, because as you know about pitching, it's all about the release point.
Yes.
And being able to repeat that motion.
It's like a rhythm you kind of get into. You don't want to break that. You're right. That's a good point. Richardson ahead 1-2, and that's going to be fouled. Joe, if you don't mind, I'm going to let you take over for a second. Okay. Miss Jett's got this lineup for me. I'm going to try to get it real quick. Okay.
And here the pitcher's on the rubber now. Picking the sign up. Jagger's dug into the plate. Pitches and fires. Got a fastball low and away. Jagger does a good take. Kind of in the corners at third base. Pushing back behind first base. Deep in the hole. Second and shortstop. Pitcher's kicks and fires now again. Got a little off-speed pitch. Jagger turns on it, pulls it foul. Pitcher's picking the sign up again. Jagger's in. Another off-speed pitch, going to be called high. Got a full count on Jagger. I like the way Jagger approaches the plate. Jagger, he'll grind a bat out. He'll try to take pitches when he needs to take pitches, and he'll be aggressive when he needs to be aggressive. Jagger fouls it off to the right field side. Jagger's batting strong here. That's what I said, Jagger. He'll like grinding that bat out, and I like that. Eli Wright does a lot of that as well. Eli Hill grinding that bat out as well. You'll see a lot of these kids doing that. Foul the pitch.
You just said it, grinding it out right there. And that's a freshman. I know we say it so much, Joe, with this team, but you can't overlook it. This is a 2A team. And no offense to our area. We haven't, Clay County hasn't necessarily been a baseball-rich area. And they've got, what is it, 7? Is it 7 freshmen or is it
I think 6.
Six freshmen that are getting that much playing time. That ball's hitting over to third baseman. He's going to glove it across the diamond. Oh, in time, a little bit of a stretch there, but he got it. But to have that many get that much play, and then have a successful team. I mean, this team's going to state.
Yeah, and, on that at-bat, even though Jagger got thrown out at first, the good thing about that at-bat, I didn't count the pitches, but he went probably 6-7 pitches deep on this kid pitching, and those pitches, as you well know, he's going to start adding up towards the end of the game. Because when you get this part in the tournament, you start wearing out on pitchers, right? So we've got to get this guy off the mound and get down to the number 4, number 5 pitcher.
Bingo. And that's the thing, too, so different about baseball. I say all the time at softball, you can literally throw the girl 3 days straight if you want to, 150 pitches a day. It doesn't matter. Baseball's such a different animal. That's why it's so hard to win the state championship in my mind in baseball, because even if you have that one stud or maybe even 2 guys, these tournaments you go 2-3 days in a row, and all of a sudden you're like, daggum, who do we have left to even throw?
Yeah, no, it's a battle. It's certainly a battle of attrition here is what it is. Jagger had a great at-bat.
I agree 100%. It's Rex Shirt up there at the plate, and he watched his ball, too, go by. That was another curveball.
Yeah. What I like about this pitcher is, typically pitchers want to get ahead with the fast balls, but this kid's mixing this breaking balls up and his off-speed pitches pretty good, so he's keeping our batters off balance right now, so we got to get that timed up.
Absolutely, and he's doing a very good job. You can tell he's very confident. High fastball, swung through and missed. We talked about this a little bit, too, yesterday on the live stream. I know when I was younger, that was the hardest pitch to lay off of, that high fastball. Man, your eyes get really big. It seems like you see it better, and it's so hard to catch up to. And here comes the 2-2. Chopped over to third base, and it ate him up. Probably going to be an error there, but good hit by Rex Shirt, and that's the first Bobcat on base today with 2 outs in the top of the first.
Yeah, I see Andy right there once again. He grinded the bat out. Took several pitches to get him, and sooner or later that's going to start taking a toll on a pitcher.
Well, not only that, but the more pitches a batter sees, the more comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
The more comfortable he's going to be with these different pitches that he's seeing from Richardson. And now Richardson's got a little bit of traffic on the base pass. We'll see how that affects him. First pitch in the dirt. Good job by the catcher. I think it's Mann. Yeah, Mann's back behind the plate. Talked about that, too, yesterday, Joe. Catchers are a different breed, man.
Yeah, they certainly are. You got to want to do it. There's no in between on that. You either want to do it or you don't.
Bingo. I 100% agree with that.
I love this kid right here at the plate. This kid, he can hit a ball hard. Once he barrels the bat up on the ball, he can hit it hard.
He is country strong,
Joe.
He is. We should start calling him Big Country, because I'm telling you, the kid, you're right. If he barrels it up, man, that thing is going somewhere. And keep in mind, remember now, here at Sloan-Hendrix, center field is 350. A little different than what we've seen. There's a curveball in for a strike. 2-1 count. Remember, 2 outs here. Hey, guys, if you're watching with us, Colton sent me a message. Evidently, he's been busy with the Hop Alley Rally, and I have too, so we're only on YouTube right now. So I apologize for that. Only on YouTube, but we shared it to our Facebook page. That ball's hit hard, just a bit foul down the left field third base line. I mean, there's a point and blank right there. I mean, he turned on that one, Joe, and gave it a ride for sure.
Yeah, he can get around on a fastball. I mean, there's nobody on the team get around on a fastball any quicker than he can.
And if you're Smith at third base, you just had one go off of you, that ball came by, it was whizzing at you, you're probably a little nervous right now.
Yes.
High pitch, almost hits him, actually. And I think that was a curveball, too. It just didn't have a lot of break to it.
Yeah, he just didn't get on top of it and pull it down, didn't finish his pitch.
Here comes the payoff pitch, and you just talked about it, Joe. These batters running this count deep at 22 pitches now here in the first for Richardson as he comes set. He's going to check on the runner. Hey, I like this, Joe. 3-2 and 2 outs. You know that runner is going to be taken off on the pitch.
Absolutely.
That's a great time to pick off, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
It didn't work out for Richardson, but I like the idea there. And I don't know if Coach Hoggard called that from the mound or if the catcher did or if it was Richardson himself, but I like the idea there. Here comes the payoff pitch. Hit hard out in left field. Left fielder seems like he's got a beat on it. He's under it, and he makes the grab. And that was the top of the first for the Bobcats. We did not score any, but we did get some pitches, that pitch number up there to 23 for Richardson. That's a good-looking pitcher for Riverside. We're going to stay here at the in between the inning here real quick just so I can talk a little bit about right now, if you're near Corning, Arkansas, we've got our Spring Festival, our 5th annual Spring Festival, Hop Alley Rally, downtown Corning. As I was leaving survival flight, the helicopter had just landed. NEA foam party was going in, and the police trucks, fire trucks were going, or police cars, fire trucks were going there for the kiddos. So much stuff for the kiddos to do. Live entertainment, tons of food, tons of vendors. Get down there if you can. Growing Corning together, putting that one on, and we would appreciate a good crowd. As I left, it was a really good crowd, and hopefully that continues. Good weather, too. That helps with these festivals. Don't forget tonight, the alumni basketball game at Corning, boys and girls. And my understanding is they are still taking last-minute walk-ins. So if you thought about playing but maybe on the fence, or maybe you're just hearing about it for the first time, Coach Wesley Couch said walk-ins are fine. He said just tell them to come see me as they come in. It's for a good cause. Obviously, they're fundraising for the athletics department here at Corning. So if you can get up there tonight, my understanding is there will be a free throw competition, a three-point competition. Now, Joe, I wonder why we didn't have a dunk contest.
Well, anything they got you and I to go do it, they'll have to have a step stool or a step ladder, more like
I need a trampoline probably to have a shot.
Maybe like a 6-foot ladder, huh?
Yeah, and
or maybe this mound. Pull this mound over as high as this mound is, you know.
I talked to an umpire yesterday. He was so nice. In between games, he said, listen, yes, the legal limit is 10 inches, but he said there's nothing we can do about it. He said it's not 10 inches. He said we all know that, but obviously AAA approved this field, so there you go. Ain't nothing.
Yeah, but you know the thing about it is, though, I mean, I'm truly concerned about our pitchers because when TJ throws, he throws such a low ball down to second base. Second base.
Mm-hmm.
Our pitchers got to be, you know, they got to be bowed up here to understand what's going on behind them because TJ will actually kill the pitcher as hard as he throws.
Man, as hard as he throws it. You get hit in the face, and remember, on defense, it ain't like softball. You're not wearing face masks there, and just like that, point in case right there, you saw it. You're not wearing face mask out there, and I'm going to tell you something. You get one back off the face, and, man, that changes everything.
Absolutely.
But, again, alumni game tonight, they will have boys and girls competition. And I've got a stream set up there, and if I can get there in time, I will get that live for us as well. I'm going to try to get to Jonesboro tonight if I can. My kiddo's playing a little travel ball today in Jonesboro. Him and Reed Varvel, same team over there. I tell you what I'm upset about, Joe. James called me about this team, all right? And he told me. He said we're the Missouri Hawks. I said, okay. Get up there. We get jerseys. They shortened Missouri for Mo, and then it says Hawks. And I said, dadgummit, if I'd have known this would have never happened.
Yeah.
This would have never happened. That ball's poked over to the right side and just finds its way for Timms, the leadoff batter with a leadoff single. I tell you what, Joe, he didn't get much of it, but it was just enough.
Yeah, just got it right in the right spot. Just kind of got it between first base, second base there. Brady was kind of shading over to more so to second base here and just kind of had found a hole there.
I'm getting a lot of phone calls. Joe, if you don't mind, I'm going to take some. I'll let you take over for just a second.
Will do. Rick's picking the sign up from TJ. Runner on first. Runner's going. Here comes the throw down. Times and time. Got him. Heck of a throw. Heck of a throw by TJ. And way to get in there, Jagger George. Jagger stuck his nose in there. Heck of a play all the way around. Great play. Got one out now. Red shirt on the mound. Gets just a little bit low and away. 1-1's a count. Our number 2 batter's up. Rex throwing his 5th pitch of the game. Little off-speed pitch down to Ty Price, third base, guns it over, out at first. What I like about that play, you saw the right fielder, you saw Brady Russell, everybody coming back over to back up the first base for the play. Great fundamental baseball. That's what fundamental baseball is all about right there. Everybody moving, everybody backing up a play. TJ setting the defense up for everybody. That's what I like about TJ. TJ's always in the game, always trying to set the defense up.
You know, that's the thing about a catcher. You're kind of QB1, the point guard, if you will, behind home plate, and you know exactly for a youngster, he's very vocal. And you're right, good communication. Speaking of TJ, Joe, I'll go off the headset and all kinds of good things happen.
Yeah.
I might just need to stay away. I don't know.
No, you don't need to be doing that.
Man,
You can't trust me on the headset by myself, I promise you. I'll be worse than Bart and Jeremy.
Speaking of Bart, that ball's jam shot. Yeah. That's going to go foul. Almost got to the softball field. Bart just called me. I was worried about our stream, but our stream's fine. No, he said he's going to go help do the alumni game tonight.
Great,
so
great.
That'll free me up. Maybe I can go up to Jonesboro and watch some baseball. And so I appreciate Bart White and Jeff Page. Jeff Page and Bart White. Good Lord help us with that commentating duo. But they're going to do that tonight for us. This is Gillis at bat, the 3-hole hitter for Riverside. Now, remember, Rex Sure did pitch a little bit yesterday. What was it, 20? I don't know, 22, 20.
Yeah, something like that.
Something pitches. So, in my understanding, Joe, and you may know better than I do, but the rule, I think, is 30.
I think that's what it is.
30,
yes.
And then you can't pitch the next day. So, smart decision there by Coach Kyle George to save that arm for today. And awful good-looking arm right there. He pumped a strike to Gillis. It's 2-2, deuces wild with 2 outs. Are you real superstitious, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, well, you baseball player, you got to be.
You got to be, right?
You don't want to step on the chalk, right?
Can't step on that chalk line. Here comes the 2-2. Deuces wild. We was always taught when the pitcher gets on the mound, take your hat off. Yeah. So if you believe in that stuff, it's funny the things you believe. I'm going to tell you something, like weird stuff. Cedar Ridge's streaming guy, he has overalls. Did you see the guy yesterday with the blue?
Yes, I did.
They gave him so much crap last year in the semifinals of basketball for not wearing it, and they lost, and they all blamed it on him. He said, dude, everywhere I go, I have to wear it now.
Yeah.
He said, they don't even want me to wash it.
Yeah, I understand, remember back during the day, Crash, he wouldn't ever, change hats.
Oh, the hat. I remember the hat. Yes.
His mom was just cringe every time he'd grab that dirty hat out.
I'm pretty sure flies just hovered around him.
I think so.
Oh,
great pitch.
That was close.
Great pitch.
So let's watch the replay here.
Yeah, I think it probably caught a little low. What I like about Rex here, Andy, is he's off, there's kind of like a hole right there dead center of the rubber. And Rex is always to the very far right of the pitcher's mound on the rubber right here. It's trying to stay out of that high traffic area and a hole there on the mound.
And again, you talked about the steepness of that. That kind of changes the landing point as well and how far they're stepping out. Yeah. Now, I would think the higher it is, the more velocity, and the runner really stole that. Actually, a pitch out. We'll see if they got a shot here. A little bit offline, maybe not in time, but good job. And really, I would give credit there more so to the base runner than anything.
Yeah, he got an early jump. They're seeing something on, or Ben's probably thinking he's trying to see something on Rex. I don't know if they timed the pitch up. A lot of times base runners go on a count of 3.
Stopwatch, yeah. He did a good job there for sure. And listen,
great pitch. That's a great pitch. Turned it over a little bit, took a little bit off of it. Got the batter looking. The batter's he's sitting on dead red here.
Yeah, you don't want to overcook that, obviously, and he did a great job there for sure. You talk about T.J. Small, a great arm, but again, just nothing he could do on that last one. The runner was halfway down the line there. That ball has hit a ton foul.
Yeah.
It's just a long strike, obviously, but man, a lot of pop from Emery, the lefty.
Yeah, I think he was waiting on that pitch then after that last pitch on that off speed. I think he's like, okay, going to throw me another one of those. I'm going to sit here and wait on it.
Yeah. Do you like, let me ask you this, do you like this new way of thinking? Do you like wasting pitches kind of when you're ahead of counts, kind of waste them in the dirt? And kind of?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because a lot of these kids, they're super aggressive anyway, They get behind in the count, got a lot of pressure on them. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of putting one in the dirt.
Yeah.
Up in their eyes, out of the strike zone, up in their eyes like a high fastball like you just talked about.
Yeah. I tell you what, Emery's done a good job of running this count back full. And yet again, we talked about the Corning hitters getting that pitch count up. And all of a sudden, we've had 2 full counts here for Rex on the mound. Here comes the payoff pitch. Just a bit outside. Not much, but just a bit outside.
Yeah, this umpire, he's certainly not expanded the strike zone any at all here.
No, definitely a tight strike zone. And I'm like a lot of people, hey, as long as he's consistent with it, I'm okay with it. Because every umpire's a little different. But when you start stretching it out a little further after an inning or two, that's when it's really upsetting. Hard hit to the shortstop. Jagger picks it up across the diamond.
Great
and
play.
in time. Hey, I'm going to watch the replay here. Here's why. And Joe's seen it too. The runner is right in his wheelhouse. So is the umpire. And somehow Jagger, with the wherewithal and the confidence, nothing fazed him there. Great job there. Throw across the mound. Guys, we played 1 inning of baseball here. Hey, and we can't do what we do without our sponsors, so we got a video made up for them. Guys, we will be back with a 2nd inning here from Bowden, Arkansas.
Welcome to our CSR 2025 postseason baseball sponsorship video. I want to say thank you to all the fine folks that jumped on board with us and supported this Bobcat postseason baseball run. Your live production will be back on shortly. Hey, we're excited about this one. A new business in town in God's country. It's owner-operator Amber Murray and her company Indulge. And let me tell you a little bit about them. They're Corning's elite facial and lash spa. They're located at 615 North Missouri Street there in Corning, Arkansas. And they're proud to provide a range, and I mean a long range of superior services, including basic facials, gentlemen's facials, hydrofacials, anti-aging facials with LED light, microdermabrasion, dermaplaning, lash extensions, lash lift and tints, brow wax with tinting, permanent jewelry, spray tanning, and more. All you got to do is get a hold of them, book an appointment. Feel free to call or even text. How about that? An owner giving out their cell phone, 870-809-0229. Again, that's Amber Murray, Indulge at 615 North Missouri Street, 870-809-0229. She's wishing the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run. Next up on our sponsor video slideshow is a familiar face. It is the Sherd family. We appreciate them for jumping on board yet again with us here for the Bobcat postseason run. They want to wish the Bobcats the best of luck and that they are extremely proud of the season that they've had this year. And we're extremely proud of them for always supporting us. You see number 7 there, Rocket Man Rex, as we like to call him. That's Rex Sherd. Obviously, they're wishing him a great long postseason run. The Sherd family from Corning, Arkansas.
All right, guys, we're back here live with second inning action from Imboden, Arkansas, on the campus of Sloan-Hendrix High School. And Euros on the headset, and we will have Mr. Joe Jett coming back with us here in just a minute. I appreciate him for helping out today. Reed McMaster is going to lead us off. He's going to watch a curveball in there. We're going to say just on the inside portion of the plate. That's what we're going to say. And that'll be strike one to the lefty. Got righty on lefty here. Richardson did a really good job in that first inning of getting out of trouble there. That ball's foul tipped straight back. And just like that, Reed's in the hole 0-2 here. But like Joe had mentioned, these Bobcat batters, they do battle now just because you're down 0-2. And I'll say one more thing now. The first game yesterday, I seen very few strikeouts. And, man, when you put the ball in play, sometimes good things happen. Sometimes it's just that simple. Put that ball in play.
Absolutely.
Speaking of, right now the third baseline. Third baseman gets it across the mound or across the diamond in time, and that was Smith.
Great arm by the third baseman.
And hey, credit to him now because he had a pretty ugly-looking play earlier, just to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to come back there, that was a good job there. Redeem himself, if you will.
Andy, I love Reed McMasters and Seth Smith as team leaders on this team. You got the right two senior members of the team. Their personalities do good for this team.
Well, I've always been told, this is kind of an old adage too, I've always been told your seniors, you want them to be the hardest workers and you want them to be humble guys and you want them to be guys that'll encourage, not diminish the other teammates, but encourage them. And I feel like you pretty much got that with those two, and it's good to have them. And I tell you, I like Seth Smith at first, and of course he's on the mound yesterday, but I've seen a couple times where he's wanting to talk to the pitcher. You don't ever see a first baseman do that.
Yeah, Seth, he's basically having a coach on the field with the kids, right?
Yeah.
In baseball, the players take on the personality as a manager, or they're taking on personality as Seth Smith to a certain extent here.
I totally agree. Seth's going to foul this one off. Eli's going to try to grab that. Be careful there, young man.
Yeah.
Don't want to mess that, hand up.
And I'm going to tell you something about Eli. Eli, to me, he's one of the best center fielders in this whole conference. Eli does a great job in center field.
He covers a ton of ground. I'm going to tell you something he did yesterday. Now, it doesn't show up in a box score, but a ball got over Reed's head yesterday, which is very rare, but it did. Eli was hustling. There's going to be a hard hit to the third base, and what a glove. He lost it, composes himself, and then throws and gets the out. Great play by Smith. Let's watch the replay there. But anyways, Eli was hustling all the way from center and probably saved an extra run there. They scored one
absolutely.
on it.
He did. I remember the play. The thing about it is Eli read the ball off the bat, right? As soon as the ball was in play off the bat, 2 feet off the plate, Eli was already on his horse going.
And as a coach, you expect them to do that, but it doesn't always happen that way, Yeah. And keep in mind, these are teenagers out there. It doesn't always work out that way. But Eli, dude, he has a motor and it never stops. And I love this kid on the base path. He is very aggressive.
Yeah. I think, if I'm not mistaken, him and Jackson are tied leading the team in steals.
I love it. And Jackson's another. I tell you, the other day, the final play of the game there was it. I guess that would have been T.J. Small that was on base.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they didn't have to tell him anything. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, he was going.
Hard hit up to the second baseman. Oh, and it eats him up as well on the short hop there. That's tough.
We'll take it.
But we'll definitely take it. You're right.
Take it.
I think Ben Hargard's over there. He's adding a few gray hairs right now. A little stare down to his second baseman there. I'm sure it's nothing but kind words. But it's easier said and done. And that's a play there, Joe. You want to obviously attack it, but the hops there just didn't quite work out for him.
Yeah, the thing about it is, these baseball fields are still all different, right? Because you're getting a different look. The outfield looks different, infield looks different, looking back through the chain link fence.
Ball's hit foul. See if Coach George got a play on it. Oh, baby, what a play by Coach Cal George. Hello.
And the grounds, all the grounds different, being raining, not raining, harder, not harder, so –
I talked to Sloan-Hendrix, and they said, when they put the sod down, there's a lot of places where they want it to grow together, and it just hasn't done it yet. Mm-hmm. And you're right, that could easily make a ball take a wild hop. That ball's fouled back, heads up back here in a softball field. That hit right around the pitcher's mound. TJ, so that's the only bad thing about having the field so close is that every now and then you get something like that.
And watch Eli here. Watch his secondary. Eli's getting a great secondary off this pitch.
You guys can probably see that in your you can on your camera right here.
There you go. See, he's going now.
Swing and a miss, strike three. And I tell you what, Richardson has done a phenomenal job on the bump. His defense has had a couple little miscues behind him, but as far as his pitching, he's looked good. Honestly, maybe one hard hit, maybe Ty Price's barrel there, the foul ball, maybe. The one at third, too, I guess, was a pretty hard hit. But for the most part, he's kept it off the barrel and done a good job. Bobcats coming out again in the second inning. It'll be Rex Shirt on the mound.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when they get through the second time in the lineup. Everybody's had a chance to look at them. They've seen his off-speed stuff versus his fastball stuff now. So maybe the second time through the lineup right here, maybe we can start putting the bat on the ball and see if we can get some things to drop for us,
And I want to mention something to the Riverside fans. And I see him over there right now, and I see his right arm in a sling. The McClure kid. First of all, I want to talk about that kid. Unbelievable athlete, unbelievable competitor.
Yeah, Andy, I was talking to one of their coaches, not Ben today, but their other coach today, and he was telling me that as good as the kid is on a baseball diamond, he's a better kid, just a better all-around human being. He's just absolutely heartbreaking.
Oh.
So, our prayers or thoughts with the kid, maybe, it's not near as bad as once they get an MRI on it, kind of see how it is. So, it's just an absolute heartbreaking thing for the kid because everybody says the kid's just an all-around good kid.
And I tell you, I wasn't here when it happened. We actually left in between games. We got something to eat, but I heard about it, and that's so heartbreaking because you practice all year long and play all these games, which regular season is important, don't get me wrong, but you play for this time of year. And then to get here and then to have that happen, man, that's just –
you just pick any one of our kids out on this team because every one of these kids are really, really good kids. Just think if that happened to them, how heartbreaking that would be to the parents here behind us.
Yeah.
And so it's really no difference, and it's just a heartbreaking event for that kid.
Yeah. So to the Riverside family there, man, we hope he's going to be okay. Hope it's nothing crazy serious. I know from everything we heard that the sounds and the looks didn't sound good, but you never know with these things. Some of these injuries are kind of funny too, and we talked about baseball. Baseball in general is just a funny sport.
It is.
It really is. And it's so hard to beat a team 3 times in a season. Now, I know Riverside they've got the kids for sure. They got the horses, but we saw with Sloan-Hendrix just the other day or yesterday, Corning found a way to win. Joe, that was one of the best games I think I've ever covered. Now, back and forth, but Corning was down by 3 on multiple occasions.
Yeah, and that just speaks to the Corning, our kids' spirit, Just like what we talk about, grinding that bat out. They ground the game out, right?
Yeah.
They just felt like, we just don't want to lose. We're not going to lose today. And then at the end of the game, everybody felt like, we're going to have a walk-off run right here. And
I did too. But I'm going to be up front with everybody. And I know everyone thinks of me as a big homer and all that. But when we got down 7-4, I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of thought it was over. I really did. I thought, man, there's no way they can come back again. But by golly, they proved me wrong. And you're right. When we got to that 7th inning, that bottom of the 7th, it felt like it was inevitable that the Bobcats are going to find a way to win that thing.
Well, not to be second-guessing their coaches, but really what they should have done was walk Jackson, so now you had to force out at first, second, or third. Double play would be in order. And then Jackson had the best hottest bat of the game.
Oh yeah.
But they pitched to him, and then good things happened for us.
Well,
right?
and that's not Joe Jett in hindsight. Joe, you sent me that immediately.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's coaching you right there, and you're right, because his run was meaningless.
Yeah. I mean,
and not only that,
nothing.
but like you said, it opens up a force now at third, second, everywhere. So I don't get that either. He had 3 RBIs on the day, like you said, had the hottest bat. And you know Jackson was, we'll take it, baby. We'll take it. And you know Jackson was just chopping at the bit to get out there. I don't know how Smith got a hold of that one. He almost looks like those slap hitters in softball.
Yeah, or like Ichiro in baseball.
Oh,
remember him?
God, he was
Japanese
good.
baseball player, yeah. Slapped the ball around.
You know, they said about him, they said if he wanted to have been a power hitter, he probably could have done it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That guy was unbelievable. And, guys, there's an art to that. I mean, you're halfway out of the box, this guy, and swinging, and that pitch was outside.
Yeah, they got Ty really close here in on the infield here. I guess they're maybe expecting a bunt right here. But it's a 3-2 count.
You wouldn't think
know.
three. Yeah, you wouldn't think 3. But you're right. He is. He's above the dirt here, and Seth's kind of a normal distance there. The rest of the infield's normal. But we wanted that 2-2 pitch. It was awful close.
It was real close. Yeah.
Another full count, and Smith is going to draw the walk, and that's going to bring up, I believe, Durham, and Durham is the righty. Black bat and gloves. He's got kind of a closed stance there.
Yeah, he's closed up really. Yeah, he's really tight. Really tight.
Very few. You don't see that a whole lot of that. So, kind of a unique stance there.
Yeah, he's got to clear his hips a lot faster by doing what he's doing here if he's trying to try to turn the ball. Sidearm. That is really good.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Sidearm turn there. That was really good play by Rex.
If I didn't know any better, I would say Smith was running there and he jittered to the right and then he got caught. Hey, good job getting back in, though. That's not easy when you kind of commit one way to be able to put on the brakes.
Oh, good pitch. Good pitch. Good off speed. And the thing about what took place there a while ago is TJ stood down just long enough to let the umpire be able to see the strike. But a lot of times catchers want to pop up and block the call. So.
Yep. I had an umpire tell me the other day, he said, hey, these catchers like to frame stuff, but if it's way outside and you're trying to frame it, he said, that kind of upsets me.
Oh, yeah. No, umpires don't. Umpires don't like that at all.
Yeah, so you've almost got to kind of you got to pick and choose when to kind of do that.
Everything's in balance, right?
Yeah. And he's running. TJ gets a good throw, a little offline. Good arm, just a little offline there. Hey, I like what Brady Russell did right there. Brady got behind Jagger because that ball was kind of high. Jagger got it, but Brady was ready, and I also seen Eli Wright hustling up.
They're all moving. That's what I was talking about a while ago. During the play, just like even first base, you saw second baseman, right field, everybody's moving on every play.
Smith kid's got some wheels at second. Good job there by T.J. Small getting out there. Some catchers just try to backhand that, kind of be, cute with it, whatever. Not TJ. He gets his body out in front of that thing. I like to see that.
I'm telling you, TJ is one tough kid. You saw him in football, he's just all around tough.
Well, I can't remember where we were at, Joe, and you might have been there too. And he's going down the third base line, just offline. They're going to send him home. Jett from left field. He's going to slide in safe, and it's 1-0 Riverside. And not the prettiest score, but either way, there's no style points in baseball, and they found a way.
Yeah, and you saw what the batter did. The batter held his bat up, above his head during the throw. TJ had to go around there. I mean, to me, that would have been one of those plays.
Just throw through him.
Throw through him, or actually appeal the play, batter's interference on that because the kid's bat was in the way.
Yeah, I totally agree with that 100%. Pitch inside. I was somewhere earlier in the year, and there was a ball that somehow hit him up in the neck area. Yeah. I know those masks come down, but somehow it found its way to his neck. He didn't even come out.
No, he kind of bent over for a little bit. I remember the play well. He just bent over a little bit and went out there and kind of gave him a little love and throw some dirt on his chin,
Dude,
and he went back to work,
I'd been blacked out. You'd have to get a wheelbarrow to get me out of there. Coach Kyle George wants to settle down his pitcher, get his infield in here. They're going to have a talk. 31 pitches in for Rex Sherd. Now, here's the thing. So, if you're Rex, you got to understand, look, you walked the guy, but he got second, third, and home, and those really weren't necessarily your fault. So you've honestly done a really good job here early on.
Yeah, Rex is doing. Yeah, Rex is. You can't fault Rex. this umpire, I'm just going to, I think, some of the borderline, some of the calls, could have went 50-50 on them.
Yeah.
And one or two calls there is the difference of what's going on here.
The 2-2 pitch to Smith, I'll be honest with you, I really thought was in there. I mean, if he strikes out, obviously he doesn't get on, and we don't have a one run right now for Riverside. So, but of course, you can't play the coulda, woulda, shoulda, or what if game. But still, it is still true at the same time, though. And how about Manny's got a rag in his back right pocket here? This is kind of interesting. I haven't seen this.
This is a little catcher here. He's tough kid here too.
You just about have to be a catcher at this level. I mean, they really are. And that's Durham. It's going to be on first, and we'll see how tough he is. We're going to hit him with the first pitch.
That's not what Rex wanted to do, I can promise you.
Yeah. And now we've got runners on first and second, no outs.
Coach Kyle's saying that's not what I call timeout to go put that play in.
And that's the kind of stuff that keeps the coach up at night right
Absolutely.
there. You go to settle them down, and the very next pitch they hit the runner or hit the batter. Speaking of runners, you got two of them on right now, one on second, one on first. Bobcats trying to hold the one on second. Seth Smith will come up. He's looking at the bunt. And they're going to back off that.
Yeah, see, Andy, I never liked that. The kid never was going to bunt at all. It was just try to move the defense around to see.
Yeah.
Back when you guys played, that's when a pitcher just throw up and in, just
yeah.
So don't do that no more,
It's funny. Baseball can kind of police itself.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it really can.
Yeah, back when you played, you had some pitchers on your team. And very next pitch, you just knew the ball was going to be up and in.
I'm going to tell you something.
Don't do that no more.
No, they don't. But I'm going to tell you something. I love that group of players. And I know it sounds cliche, but I was so fortunate. The grades above me and my grade and the grade, we had such good kids, man. We had such good coaches. We had the likes of you and Coach Dave Hendrix. And, man, it was just so much fun. And, gosh, it's just, you build that bond. You build that brotherhood, and something never goes away. Now, obviously, if he does bunt, you'll probably see Brady Russell hustle back over here to first. They're going to check on him. I don't mind that.
No, Brady and Jagger out there working hard, just trying to hold them, keep them held tight.
There's kind of an art form to that too. I mean, it's
you got to be in time with the pitcher, be in time, with everything going on around you with each other.
That ball's fouled straight back, maybe concession stand area, a little bit further.
And Ben's got their kids doing, they're taking good secondary leads as well, pretty aggressive secondary leads here as well.
I've noticed that. I noticed, I think it's number 3, Durham, over at second. He got him a really good secondary lead. And that's something you got to work on. I mean, it really is. That's a beautiful pitch, beautiful pitch. And the pitcher, Richardson, he's got to man, hey, you got to tip your hat there. Not a lot you can do.
Yeah, that's a great pitch here. What we need to do is get a double, hit a line drive here and then double one of these kids off and come back, start rattling some bats here.
I'll tell you, as quick as Durham is down the line, if they hit it to third, Ty could probably tag the runner and go across, especially that secondary lead. Ooh, that pitch was close on the outside, just missed. 1-0. And I believe we're back to Tim's. This is the top of the lineup, if so. Those baby blue batting gloves. See a lot of teams now with the play calls on the wristband there.
Yeah, I'm still old school.
I am too.
I'm like Ben. I just can't believe. I told Ben the other day, I can't believe you went to the number system on me, man. I like flashing signs and all that. Nowadays, it's all about numbers and stuff.
It feels like we're playing Battleship or Bingo. A17.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm like you, and maybe we're a bunch of old geezers now. I don't know. They get off our lawn, guys, I guess. But I'm the same way. I miss that, and I don't like it in these professional sports now. What do they call it? Pitch-com or whatever.
Yeah, pitch-com. Yeah.
I hate that. I really do. Here comes the pitch from Sure, just a bit low, I'm going to say, and another walk. That's going to load them full. Now I would assume your infield will come in.
Yeah, I'm going to say in at the corners and still double play depth because we got one out here. So you'll see Brady and Jagger play at double play and then in at the corners here.
And Caden, the 2-hole hitter, got a little pop. Speaking of, it's right up the middle. That's going to be at least a RBI single. They're going to hold the runner. Obviously, only one out, so not a bad idea. Tack on one more for Riverside.
We had the right idea about the defensive setup. It was just that the ball was just it was basically hit where it come from, right? It was right down the middle, and it hit right back up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, he
Good
really
place to hit him.
The timing was perfect. I mean, he couldn't hit it any straighter than he did. And you're right, man. I don't know, a foot and a half to the left or right, and who knows, maybe that is a double play. For sure getting one out. That's going to bring up the 3-hole hitter, Gillis. And this is a good-looking kid. The frame on this kid, probably can't tell from your camera, but tall and lanky, but he's got some big old thighs on him.
Looks like a linebacker, don't he?
He does. Got the long arms. If he can get around on one, man, I'd say it's probably going somewhere. 0-1 count. Outside, good snag there by TJ.
I'd actually like to see Jackson and Eli take about 4 or 5 steps back.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either, honestly.
Yeah, Jackson. I'd like to see Jackson kind of play more like double defense here, and maybe about 3 or 4 steps back. That's my grandson. I guess I can say that, can I?
Oh, you can. Oh, absolutely. Another good snag there by TJ. You know, I didn't notice it yesterday, Joe, but I'm out here looking, and maybe my eyes are bad, but it's a pretty severe slope from left to right in that outfield, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I just noticed that. So if Jackson goes to his left, he's running uphill.
Uphill a little bit, yes.
2-1 count. Remember, nowhere to put him here. Bases loaded. Gillis.
And I always felt like kids at this age level are better about playing balls in front of them as opposed to behind them. Because I'm telling you, a pitch or a ball hit straight at you is the hardest play on baseball to make. You and I talked about that yesterday.
Yes, sir. And I agree with it.
It's extremely hard to make.
That play that what got to start and talk about that was that play that Reed McMasters made yesterday in right field.
Play.
Oh, my gosh. That ball has hit a ton out to right field. Speaking of right field, and speaking of Reed McMasters, he makes the catch. They're going to tag up the throw. That's a pretty good throw there. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think he had a prayer, but that was a really good throw out there. That's pretty deep right field.
Yeah, Reed has got a cannon. Reed's got a cannon. Ball comes out of Reed's hand very, very good.
Wow, very nice there. Good throw. They do get the second out. Obviously, you trade an out for a run there. And I always like watching that runner and making sure he doesn't leave early. Now, he didn't. He did a good job there. That was, I think, Mann. That was that third that just scored. 3-0 lead. And honestly, you talked about it, TJ Small. Getting out here, talking to the defense.
Yeah, and you notice what he did was the outfielders are all kind of shading back to the right side now.
Yep.
They're all moving. And speaking of that, you know, when a ball leaves the infield over your head to an outfielder, it's going to be over your head time it gets there. That was a play.
And look, I like trying it. Why not try it? I mean, you never know. I mean, Ben Hargan's in the ear of the third base runner, but you never know. And I will say something. If Rex can get out of this with a score of just 3-0, I think that's a win for us.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of be relieved. But that's the thing about this Riverside bunch. You know, they just kind of peck. Next thing you know, you're down 10 runs. You know, so you gotta keep pace offensively as well here. So
they're relentless for sure. They kind of nickel and dime you to death almost, if you will.
But like I said a while ago, you know, when they come back around, you know, we're gonna look at this pitcher the second time through the lineup, and they should have looked at all of his pitches he's thrown now. And
honestly, several of them took several pitches too, so they've seen quite a few of what he's got. Rex with a delivery a little high to Emery. I'd say Emery did a good job staying off. I don't know that I would have. I think that's when I'd have been swinging for the fences, swinging for Pocahontas there. Now, Emery's kind of up on the plate. Now, yesterday there was a kid for, was it Cedar Ridge?
Yeah, he was out of the batter's box.
Yes, he was.
No, I mean, he actually put the ball in play, and that, you know, when you hit the ball out of the batter's box, you're out.
Yeah.
And the umpire side, you know, I'm not trying to pick on the umpires, I guess I am. But everybody here saw it, right?
Oh, yeah, and honestly, the first time he swung, his foot was almost on the base, too. I mean, it was way out there, and that's going to be a walk. Now, maybe not a ton of harm there, as obviously first base is open. But that does bring up Stone, who, by the way, darn good baseball player. In case you don't know the name, darn good family, too. Now Coach Kyle George is coming to the mound, and I would assume that this is going to be a pitching change.
Yeah.
Who do you go to here, Joe? Who's your thought?
I'm going to say he's probably going to bring Jagger in. Rex did a good job. I mean, Rex out here battling, you know.
And again, I don't want to make excuses because it's going to sound like I am, but this mound is a different animal than what we've dealt with.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not really fair to the pitchers, you know. I'm going to say the mound's probably 10, 11, 12 inches higher than normal.
Yeah.
What these kids, and it falls off really steep on the front end. So when they land, it's almost like pulling the, Rex is pulling back to the right side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because as you're running downhill and you're stepping, it's pulling his body back over to the right field dugout side, if you will.
And because it's such a steep incline, that hole gets dug up pretty quickly because all of your weight's coming down pretty hard at an angle. So it's almost like you're shoveling down, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. But it's what I like about Jagger here is Jagger's doing this delivery. If you notice Jagger, he's landing on his toes here now. So that's helped stopping some of that sliding back towards see right there where his foot landed.
That's a good pickup, Joe.
Yeah, and he's landing on his ball of his feet, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's stopping that slide off that steep incline.
And even then, you can kind of watch that plant foot. It kind of moves around.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, that's not ideal, but, I mean, that's what we have to deal with.
But, their pitchers having to do the same thing, right?
I was just thinking that. It's the same on both sides.
Yeah.
And, we can sit here and, I guess, complain about it all we want. But at the end of the day, I mean, both teams have to deal with it. And, obviously, Richardson hasn't seemed to really affect him as much.
Well, Jagger's got a really, really good off-speed curveball. He sets it up, really well from his fastball pitch.
It's funny you say that. Talking to the Sloan-Hendrix coaches yesterday, they were asking me, they said, well, who do you think's going to pitch today? And I threw out a few names of Jagger's one of them. They said, yeah, Jagger, that kid was pretty darn good. He said, man, he had a really good curveball a few years ago. He said, I could see him out there. And you're right, he does. It's got a good break on it.
Thing about Jagger, he's not afraid to throw it in any count, any situation. And that's also having confidence in your catcher, being able to block a ball, like in this situation.
Yep.
If the ball goes in the dirt, you got high level confidence. TJ's going to block the ball. It's going to be a foul ball.
Ball's hit pretty hard. Had a lot of spin on it there. It is foul, though.
Yeah. See, I'd like to see Jackson stop right there where he's at.
I was thinking the same thing. If he's pulling it that hard, why not?
There he starts moving back over.
Now he's going back over a little bit. Now Eli's really moving over at center.
Yeah.
And look at where Reed's at in right field right now.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. He threw the breaking ball. Had a 0-2 count, right? I think that's what it was.
It was 0-2, so he could waste one there.
Put the ball in the dirt. Had confidence in TJ going to block the ball.
And think about that. That's what the base is loaded. So there's a runner at third, and he had confidence in there to waste one in the dirt. Again.
Yeah, because with the speed of Riverside here is, you let the ball get by, realistically, the runner in second could actually score here as well.
Oh, man. Depending on where it caroms off, how it caroms off you maybe, you're right. And they're getting big leads, like you said. Hard hit. Ty Price almost had that ball. That ball was smoked. That's going to be at least a 2-run single. And it's 5-0. And I tell you what, it's a game of inches in baseball.
It is that.
A game of inches. That hot corner is exactly that. Glad I never played third base. That's a tough one. And, Ty didn't back up or anything. He didn't really flinch. It
got on him pretty quick. And he's probably, my humble opinion, probably maybe about 1 or 2 steps in.
Yeah.
If he could have been back maybe about a step or two, it might have been different. But the ball got on him so quick.
Yeah.
So quick.
And he did get a glove on it. And who knows, maybe getting that glove on it slowed it down enough to where maybe she's at second now. So, actually, that kid should be at third.
Absolutely.
I didn't realize that. I just assumed he was there. But, yeah, that kid should be at third base right now.
And the thing about Ty's not afraid of the ball, right? Ty's, he'll stick his nose in there anywhere.
Yeah. The Smith kid is way up in the batter's box. The lefty, he's way up on the barrel of the bat. He pokes one way out to center field. Eli going back to the wall. He runs into the wall. That's going to score at least 2, and it may be a triple. A 2-run triple for Smith, and the floodgates have opened here in the second inning. I tell you what, that was a short, compact swing that went a long way. He had to have barreled that one up pretty good. He choked up on the bat a good, I'd say 3 inches or so, and then let it ride. And in Eli's defense, very few people have hit it over his head this year, and did everything he could to get back there. Curveball in the dirt to Durham.
No, Eli. I'm just high on Eli center fielder. I just think Eli is one of the best center fielders in the conference. Even though the ball did get above his head there, but the ball was just hit hard.
And Reed McMasters was in perfect position for that one as he finally retires the third out. We played 2 innings here of baseball in this 2-2A regional third-place game. We'll be back after this, after words from our sponsors.
It's Nutrient Ag Solutions, always supporting us. We appreciate them, and especially Mr. James Varvel, who does so much for the community and also for Corning Athletics. We sincerely appreciate him. Nutrient Ag Solutions, want to wish the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run. Here's a good friend of ours, a staffer of ours, and also a great sponsor of ours. It's Mr. Mike Townsend and his company, Mike Townsend Farms, LLC. We appreciate Mike jumping on board with us and sponsoring yet again. He may be here today to help us. He's one of our staffers we can always kind of count on, so we appreciate him. For all your hauling needs, call Mike, 870-926-2119. He wants to wish the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run.
Energy Infusion Center, downtown Corning, Arkansas. Great friends of ours, and more importantly, great people in our community. That's Miss Debbie and Bud Hill, who have always supported us here at CSR, except this time with a little different twist. That's right. The Energy Infusion Center is such a unique place is the right word. Only 1 of 500 in the world. You heard that right. Only 1 of 500 in the world on the planet Earth, on our globe, and we've got one right here in God's country, Corning, Arkansas. Holds up to 12 people per night. Guys, that's a lot. Take your whole family if you want to. In fact, it's only $150 to spend those 12 hours overnight. How about that? That's cheaper than most hotels, guys. Plus, the important stuff, you're getting the healing factors that your body really needs. I love this idea. In fact, some of our Bobcat athletes that you are watching right now in this live stream went there to help heal their bodies after games. Downtown Corning, Arkansas, at Debbie Rose Massage is Energy Infusion Center. Reach them at 573-480-7819, and they're wishing the Bobcats the best of luck.
Hey, it's never too late to be a sponsor here with us in the postseason. Only $100 to get your ads ran.
And we're back here live with third inning action from Imboden, Arkansas. Andy Earls, Joe Jett, and we're live on YouTube.
Dirty B about to hit that ball right out of the catcher's mitt.
I'm going to tell you something, man. This kid has a lot of confidence, and this kid does whatever the team needs him to do.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm high on this kid. He's just an all-around good kid, good teammate. And to be honest with you, at the plate, to me, he's probably the most improved ball player on the Corning team.
I'm going to tell you something. Very few times you ever see him strike out. He always puts the ball in play. Yesterday, he had I think he had a 2-hit game early on. Of course, he had the huge bunt, obviously the sacrifice bunt there to move the runner over. But he just does everything that they ask him to do, and it's good having another lefty in the lineup too.
Absolutely.
One down here in this third inning. Good curveball there. Came in about a little bit above belt high, but
yeah, Jackson sitting on dead red there.
Back to the leadoff hitter, Jackson Jett. Big day yesterday in the first game, 4 RBIs, including the walk-off winner. Hard hit back to Richardson. And you know what? Sometimes that's a sign it's just not your day, Joe.
No, and that's self-defense on the pitcher, and that ball barreled up very good from Jackson. And, the thing about it is you just got to keep hitting the baseball. Good things going to happen. Sooner or later, going to start falling. That ball was hit hard.
Yeah, eventually it is. And you're right, man. That's just and Richardson, he was kind of smiling after that one. So, hey, Mama, look what I found. Dangerous over there. Number 9, I don't have his number, but he was awful brave. He never flinched. He was going for that thing. Left-handed, couldn't quite get it, but.
Yeah, these dugouts are kind of dangerous.
I thought so, too, yes.
The ball gets in there and starts ricocheting around. It'll kill 2 or 3 good ball players, right?
Golly, man. It's a little nerve-wracking for sure. And I don't know why. I feel like this is the closest dugouts I've seen this year in baseball.
Yeah, they're
softball. Sometimes you see that, but baseball, I think this is the closest I've seen.
Yeah, and the foul territory here is really, really narrow, right? So if you back that off, maybe about another 10 more feet, it'd make a lot of difference. But not a lot of foul territory here.
That ball's hit high out to left field, shallow left field. Left fielder coming in, can of corn. He's going to make the play there. 3 up, 3 down. Tell you what, Richardson has been extremely efficient.
But see, Danny, that ball right there and the ball Jackson hit and these other freshmen are hitting, the difference between this year and next year, not trying to wish these kids' lives away, but, they're lifting weights and they're going through all that stuff.
Yeah.
Once they start putting on some muscle and stuff, those are the balls going to start going out over the outfielders' heads, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
So the future is bright for the Corning Bobcats, I think.
Yeah. The present and future. I'm gonna just be up front with you, Joe, and I've said this a couple times on air. If you'd have rewound back to the beginning of the season, you'd ask me, hey, you think this team can make state? I probably would have said, okay, you're a little crazy. Let's don't get too crazy right now. But I've been proven wrong with this team. I did not see regionals coming. I did not see state coming. I'm just going to be up front. And I'm so proud of these boys. There's the old adage, quality over quantity. And, I'm looking over at Riverside, and they've got seemingly 30 kids. It ain't that many, I'm sure, but it's a lot. And we've got 11 or 10 or whatever it is. We've
10,
got
10
kids.
Players, yeah.
But they have done such a great job this year. They brought some pride back to our baseball program. What was it, 17 or 18 was the last time we got to state, I think?
The thing about it is you're exactly right. You just said that, we could just get to regionals, we'd all be satisfied.
Yeah.
So we got to regionals, and we won that first game yesterday. Now everybody's like, well, we're not satisfied. We want to go win one more. You're never satisfied right here.
Yeah.
And right here's what we got. We got Bryson Murray on the mound, a little left-hander. I'm really glad to see this. I know we're down, 7-0 right here, and we're not throwing in a towel by no means. But this kid right here on the mound, he's going to be a very, very important piece of the puzzle going forward as these kids grow, because I'm telling you, a little left-hander that don't throw just hard but can hit his spots and throw off-speed pitches.
Yes.
In this level of ball, especially if he can hit that low and away pitch, time and time again. It can be devastating, because these kids like Riverside, their bats are geared up for high 70s, low mid 80s, right?
I love that part of baseball. You have just throw an example out hypothetically. Let's say you had Rex Sherd before him.
Yes.
And Sherd's throwing, humming it down there. Then you got this kid. As a batter, you think, oh, he's throwing slower. No, your eyesight, your the way your muscle memory. I'm telling you, there's something about that with baseball. And there's been some great pitchers that could barely hit 90 in the professionals and done it well. I love that different change of pace. And there's something else about baseball. We talked about it. You start getting into tournament play, and like you said, down the road, this could be a key piece. You're going to need more than a pitcher or two to go in there and do something in a high-stress situation. And these moments right here are invaluable. Yeah,
and Bryson, the moment never gets too big for this kid right here, right? I mean,
he
wants this, and a lot of kids, they'd be saying, "Coach, please don't put me in. Please don't put me in."
He has a fun confidence to him.
Yeah. And then all of his teammates, I apologize, I cut you off, but all of his teammates just love this kid too, right?
Yes, he's a lovable character, and he's got this confidence to him. It's awesome to see. I always call the small kids like Scrappy Doo or something.
Yeah.
That's him, man.
Yeah.
That is 100% him. His first pitch will be to Man, the catcher for Riverside. Lefty-righty matchup.
That's a good pitch.
That was a very good pitch.
See, in football, he's on the kickoff team, and his head's in there on the kickoff, tackling the biggest kid out there, time and time again, during football season.
He's like a junkyard dog, man. Let him off the leash. Hard hit out to the left. Jackson, one step back, one step up, makes the catch. Okay, you talked about this. Hit right to you.
It's the hardest.
It's the hard. He took a step back, then he had to take a step
back,
up.
yeah.
It's so hard, and there's always spin on it. Some of them are, top heavy, whatever. That's a tough play there. And now Jackson made it look easy, but that is a very tough play to make.
Yeah, to me, it's the hardest play in baseball to make on a line drive, coming out of the infield to the outfield.
One down here. That ball's in the dirt. Did you see T.J. Small's throw down?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to hit Eli out in center there for a second.
Yeah.
What do you think about these new positions for the catchers, the squatting down on a knee and stuff?
I'm old school, but also I can evolve, and I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to give the umpire a better look at the low fastball. That kid sat there and tried to wait. He was still ahead in it. You just see his timing was just totally off, and basically all that is a strike, right?
And not only that, but it felt like it hit on the wrong side of the barrel. It had a weird thud to it when he hit it.
Yeah. But no, I mean, that's analytics. It's smarter people than I have come back, and they figured out that catchers set up like that they're going to catch more strikes, call strikes from the umpire as not.
Yeah. Yep. Man, this Riverside team's so well-rounded. I mean, I don't know that you have a weakness on this team, honestly. That ball's hit hard out to left field. That's probably going to be a double. Jackson's going to cut it off. Around in first is Richardson, and there's going to be a good throw into second, but that is a stand-up double for Richardson. They're just so well-rounded. Joe, I don't know that they really have a weakness. I mean, starting pitching, relief pitching, their base running, their fielding. Now, today, obviously, you can maybe say something about the fielding, but most of the time, the fielding's good. The lineup 1 through 9 is very dangerous. They're high IQ kids. I mean, Coach Hawkins got something good brewing here.
Yeah, and it all starts with Ben, and they got a facility over there. The kids, they go over there and they hit, throw every day. That's a given. Ben tells me they're not texting around and we're going to play today, practice day. They know every day they're going to be in the batting cage or throwing.
It's expected.
Expected of them.
Yeah. Murray, the lefty from the stretch, runner on second. He's going to be pitching to Timms, the leadoff hitter. That gets away. I think that went off the shin guard there. Took a good bounce. Scored over here to our Bobcat dugout side, on deck circle. Richardson takes third. Pretty easy standing up there. Now, Joe, I won't pretend to know the state bracket and how that all shakes out, but do you have any rough idea of who either one of us and Riverside, may be playing in that first round?
Yeah, I've heard some names, and for the life of me, I can't remember them. But I've heard that the western side is not as strong or as deep as what our bracket is on the eastern side of the state.
Okay.
So I don't know. We get over there and we run into a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
But they tell me, I've heard that they're not, the teams are not as talented on the western side of the state once we get over there into the state.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. It seems like every year, whether it's basketball or any sport, really, baseball, softball, you get to state and you have these 1 seeds that get blown out or get beat easy, and you're right. And some of that is that exact reason you just mentioned. And it happens every year at every level. So,
one thing about this, it gets to reset our pitching. By the time we go back over there next week. Get to reset all of our pitching, and I'm sure the kids will be pumped up, looking forward to it. Such a cool thing for the community.
Oh, yeah. I tell you who would like to have another shot at it, because I know how competitive it is, and that's Ty Price.
Oh, absolutely.
If he gets a chance on the mound again, look out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I assume Reed would probably start game 1. I shouldn't assume anything, but I would think. But I would say Ty would be coming in next or pitching the next game if we were able to find a way to win that one. And as competitive he is, I'm sure he wants another shot at it.
Well, the thing about Ty is if we didn't have Ty, going through the season, we wouldn't be here anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I'm very, like I said, I'm very high on the kid in the field, at the plate, on the mound.
Off speed, down low there.
If I was picking teams, I'd want to pick him all day long.
There you go. You take 9 of him any day.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. 3-0 count. We'll see if Ben Hoggard gives Mr. Caden here the green light, or if it's he's holding all the way. Looks like he's
good pitch. The thing about Ty right now is he's played third base most of the season.
Yeah.
Because of the way the rotation is with Bryson on the mound now, he didn't play second. He's overplaying second. He's not complaining. He's not. He just plug him in. You just plug and play, right?
Runners going. If I'm not mistaken, Joe, didn't he play first base this year at one point too?
I think maybe he played, maybe so.
I thought I seen a game where he was at first for a little bit. I can't remember, but like you said, he's plug and play.
Yeah, plug and play, and he don't complain. He's showing up. He's playing. Not complaining.
Yeah. Bryson Murray had his shot at it. Now Jackson Jett's going to have his shot at it. It's like the MLB, the old bullpen day where you just start throwing.
Yeah. And Jackson, I brag about my little grandson a little bit. I think he's played just about I don't know if he's played first, but I think he's played every position on the diamond this year, right? I mean,
the kid can do it, man. The kid can do it all.
I don't know if he's played every position, but he's probably played 7 or 8 positions this year.
Is that ours? Oh, okay. Do y'all need that for anything? No? Okay.
The thing about it is the kids, they don't, they're not complaining. They're happy to be here, happy to be an all-around good teammate. In baseball, that's what it's all about. It's not about being an individual.
Yeah.
It's about if you make a mistake, then you know your teammate's going to pick you up, right?
That's what I like about baseball too. You mentioned you may have one stud on your baseball team, but man, it's going to take more than one guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on baseball, you got to be willing to sacrifice yourself in baseball at times as well. You know.
I love the mental battle too, Joe. You know, we talk about this all the time, but to be a good hitter, you know, you want to hit 300 or maybe even high school 350, whatever. But you're failing a lot, even at that, at being a good hitter. And there's a mental aspect of that, especially with teenagers.
Yeah, and Bryson Murray, he's asked to sacrifice, probably more so than any, by bunting, as much as he does. But he loves to go do that because he knows he's contributing to the team and he's moving runners around just like yesterday. He put that winning run on second base.
Yeah.
That was him, that did that.
And honestly, I think you're right. I think he enjoys it.
Yeah.
I think he really, truly enjoys doing that. Clinton Buchanan says, Mountain does look way up there on the camera here. It does, but again, Clint, obviously it's for both teams. Riverside, it ain't like it's any lower for them too. So we do talk about it a lot just because we haven't really seen that. And I would say it does play a role. Obviously, Richardson's done a heck of a job with it, so it hasn't really affected him. But yeah, both teams have got to go at it. So we can sit here and I guess be old men that gripe all day, but it's really irrelevant. So at the end of the day, Jackson inherits 2 runners here on and 1 out. That ball's fouled straight back. And this is the Gillis kid. We talked about this kid earlier. Man, he looks the part. And I don't know if you can really see it on the camera. I don't think it does it justice. But the kid just really looks the part. And he's actually got a little bit of wheels. I was watching him earlier run down. He's got a little bit of wheels for his size.
He's an all-around good-looking athlete, right? He's just a good-looking kid at the plate. He looks like he belongs, right?
Yeah, and a lot of times you say, man, we got a really good team. I bet we got a kid that's going to play college. Well, it's hard to get because there's such a small number. But this kid kind of has that college look to him, yeah. That ball's fouled back as well, and Gillis is fighting, and Jackson's going right. I like that Jackson's pumping strikes here, Joe. Going right at him. John 15 said that. John 15 on YouTube, you're 100% right, buddy. John's calling us out, and I like it, actually. He says, the mountain isn't the reason y'all have 0 runs. You're right, John. You're 100% right. But, yeah, it's just something we definitely mentioned. Like I said, we haven't seen it before. But we appreciate your comment. You're right. Yeah, he called us out, and he's right. Clinton says Riverside just a really hard team to beat. You're right. That's true, too. And, honestly, I think there's a lot of shocked fans here yesterday, Joe. When ICC was able to hold on and win that game. And I tell you what they did. They ambushed them at the very beginning. What did they put up, 3 runs in the first, I think?
Yeah, I think so. And all the teams that I've watched play this year, I'm just high on Riverside. Not to take away from our ball club by no means, because obviously I love our ball club, but.
There it is. Oh, BE80, beautiful pitch.
But I think Ben Hoggard and Riverside, I think they got it going on. They just got an all-around good team. They play good defense. Pitching's really good, obviously. Really good at the plate. And then, from my understanding, they just got all-around good character ball players on the club.
That's exactly what Ben said. And even if McClure can't come back, they are deep enough. Don't count this Riverside team out, because a lot of people kind of had them as a favorite. That ball is going to go out of play, I do believe. Although, I didn't see the little extra area over there, and we lost Rex for a second, the camera.
What I like about what Jackson's done here, Jackson started on the right side of the rubber. I say he's moved over to the center part of the rubber. He's trying to find a sweet spot, if you will, off his mound. And so I like that's high IQ.
I was going to say, for a freshman, that is a high IQ ordeal. I've seen Emery. He's got a little superstition before every time he comes up. He puts a cross or an X, I'm not sure, in the dirt.
I think it's a cross down there he's done.
I like that, man. I really do. I tell you something I really like.
He's a good-looking kid, too, here at the plate.
He is. He's got some big old thighs, too, now on him. I tell you something else I liked yesterday I saw, and I thought it was such great class. Sloan-Hendrix catcher, Morse, the umpire had taken so many off the –
Oh, yeah.
And then one really got him. And Morse called timeout to go talk to the pitcher to give him time.
Yeah, give him time to reset.
Man, I love stuff like that. That's why I love baseball, little things like that.
Well, another thing about that is that, if there's – and I'm not saying these umpires are going to give you preference, but if it's like a bang-bang you
may get that call. Yeah,
you might get the call by just being
50-50.
all around good. And in big scheme of things, it don't take a lot of extra effort to be a good person anyway.
No.
Right? Do the right thing.
No, it doesn't. My son's, of course, a suck-up. On the back of his catcher's helmet, he has a sticker that says, "I love umpires."
Absolutely.
High major league pop fly to center, and Eli tracks it down and makes the catch.
Yeah,
Great
you see
job.
Bryson Murray. Bryson Murray was right there in his right pocket. He was on his horse, too.
We talked about that. Love seeing that. We played 3 innings of baseball here at Sloan-Hendrix High School in Bowdoin, Arkansas. We're going to stay with it this time. I know we got some sponsors out there that want to be heard and seen. We're going to stay here with it. I just want to re-mention these things because they're going on right now. Downtown Corning, Arkansas, we have our 5th annual Spring Festival presented by Growing Corn Together. It's called Hop Alley Rally, and a lot going on there. If you guys can get out there. Hey, it's Mother's Day weekend for all you guys out there. Just a heads up, Joe, in case you.
I think my wife got my mom something.
Okay, there you go.
I'm gonna tell you. I tell people I love my daughter-in-laws more than I love my sons, and my daughter-in-laws they take care of me.
It's good to have that too.
Good to have daughter-in-laws.
It's good to have good ones like that for sure. My little 6-year-old came home from school about 3 or 4 days ago with this Mother's Day thing that they had made at school. I honestly, up until that point, had forgotten about Mother's Day. And that's embarrassing, but a 6-year-old helped remind me of Mother's Day. Thank goodness.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's Mother's Day. We can get out there, maybe spend a little bit. There's a lot of vendors out there. It's a good time, a lot of entertainment, tons of stuff for kiddos to do. And then don't forget tonight, Bart White and Jeff Page. Probably the most colorful duo you could ask for is going to be on the headset for the alumni basketball game. A great cause there, fundraiser. And because the athletic banquet is now going to be the auditorium, that'll be the official last event inside Bobcat Gymnasium, too. So go for a good cause. Go to see a lot of fun, to see some folks trying to relive their glory days. There better be unlimited timeouts is all I'm going to say tonight.
Absolutely. And some oxygen on the sideline, right?
Yes. Yeah, no kidding. They'll definitely need it. I tell you, this catcher for Riverside looks good, too. Tiny kid, but, man.
No, he's a scrappy little kid. He's got catcher road all over him. If you put him in the lineup and I don't see him, and then see him the next game, see him how dirty he is and stuff, he looks like
he just looks like
scrappy
a catcher.
catcher.
Yeah, looks like a catcher.
Got a good arm, receives the ball well.
Richardson's 45th pitch is high for a ball as we start this 4th inning. Top of the 4th here in Bowdoin, Arkansas. I want to say thanks to the Sloan-Hendrix staff here. They've done a great job of hosting this tournament. Great hospitality. Even their players have kind of taken on the role and responsibility of helping be a good host. So kudos to you Sloan-Hendrix Greyhound baseball players that have done that as well this week, and all the faculty and staff here at Sloan-Hendrix. Obviously new fields this year. They wanted to show those off, get an opportunity to. And of course, it helps out the community too. Obviously, you're bringing some money into the community as well. Tell you what, Rex was swinging for it there, Joe.
Yeah, he was definitely tracking the ball and trying to get the ball down the left field line.
I'm looking at that left field line, and I don't know who did the paint down there. It's a little bit crooked down that line. Speaking of, down to third base off one hop taken by Smith across the diamond in time to retire the first batter. Sherd goes out 5-3 on the putout. Ty Price comes up. And how about this righty-lefty duo here? You want to talk about some pop. Ty Price and then Reed McMasters. That is a tough heart of the lineup to go through.
Yeah, and then you throw Seth Smith right behind him as well. It's got a high level of confidence. Good things going to happen. And especially the way our lineup's been, you got Jackson and then Jagger, both those kids, and then Rex all three getting on base, you know.
Now, I'm always curious when you get in these games like this, and listen, this game is not over by any means. That's a hard line drive out to left field. It's going to drop in for a base hit, and we got our first Bobcat on in the inning here in the 4th. But I'm curious, do you kind of tinker with some things? Maybe if you're a hitter that doesn't normally swing at the first pitch, do you try that? Do you try maybe choking with the bat a little bit, maybe a different stance? I mean, same thing with your defensive positioning whenever it's 8-0 like this in a game. Do you kind of tinker with stuff, or do you stay with what kind of got you here?
I was always big on the first 1 or 2 strikes. You like Rex, letting it rip.
Yeah.
But when you get behind in the count and shorten everything up, just put the ball.
You're going to swing like I want you to swing.
Yeah.
Okay.
First couples for you.
That was awful close down there at first baseline.
Really close.
But yeah, I like that. I like that. Give the batter a chance there to do his thing. But if not, then it's going to be the way I want it done. Now, that looked like it didn't have any chance to be close off the bat, Joe, but Reed was running out of the box as hard as he could.
He was hustling.
Those long legs, I think he took 3 steps down the first base line.
Yeah, the score is 8-0, and be easy to be down, and you got Reed, the senior, hustling down the line, and you see all these underclassmen seeing that. They're like, well, if a senior's doing it, I got to do it, right?
That's a great example.
Hold themselves accountable.
That is good killer commentary there by Joe Jiggs. That's a great example, and I love little things like that. And they do add up a lot, I promise you. Richardson gives 2 looks to Price before he pumps a pitch low to Seth Smith. I'll tell you something else I've liked about this tournament, Joe, is having 3 umpires out here on the field. I like that, man. You get these really important games. And typically when there was a bang-bang play, typically they all converge.
Get together, yeah. No, I totally agree, and I think Triple A does a good job about having 3 umpires out here, I don't remember back when you played when I coached.
I don't remember 3. I really don't.
Either.
Yeah, I don't remember 3 and being out there. But, of course, that's been a few moons ago. But
yeah, 50, 60 years ago, I guess.
It feels like it. I'll have some buddies mention something that happened in one of those games. I'm like, oh, my God, I forgot all about that. I don't know how I forgot that, but I did. Seth Smith with that open stance. He kind of crowds that plate. The lefty, righty-lefty matchup here. Good job by the catcher, and good eye by Seth Smith. And look at him hustling down the first base line on a walk.
No, the kid's just not giving up, still feeling good. It'd be good to pick up a run here, just moral victory right here.
Mental aspect of that, and moral victory.
Just know that we're going to walk away.
Eli Wright at the plate. Is it me, or has Eli's stance gotten a little bit wider as the years gone on? I can't remember it being quite.
He's got a pretty wide base under him.
Now, of course, we've seen wider. I'm not saying that. It feels like his has gotten a little bit wider as the years gone on. I kind of like that, though.
Yeah, he's got a big base, and I like these kids crowding the plate the way he is. He's on top of the plate, taking away that inside pitch.
And you mentioned just like a hit like that later on in life, a few years down the road, who knows? Maybe that thing
that ball's over his head.
Yeah.
Eli, he's in the weight room. They tell me he's in the weight room quite a bit too. And next year, those balls like that's going to be over those kids' heads.
I love the fight from these Bobcats. It isn't working out for them right now, 8-0, as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Guys, we can't do what we do without our sponsors, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the bottom half of the 4th inning.
On board yet again with us here for the Bobcat postseason run. They want to wish the Bobcats the best of luck and that they're extremely proud of the season that they've had this year, and we're extremely proud of them for always supporting us. You see number 7 there, Rocket Man Rex, as we like to call him. That's Rex's shirt. Obviously, they're wishing him a great, long postseason run. The Sherd family from Corning, Arkansas. And another familiar face with us here at CSR. It's Nutrient Ag Solutions, always supporting us. We appreciate them, and especially Mr. James Varvel, who does so much for the community and also for Corning Athletics. We sincerely appreciate him. Nutrient Ag Solutions, want to wish the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run. Here's a good friend of ours, a staffer of ours, and also a great sponsor of ours. It's Mr. Mike Townsend and his company, Mike Townsend Farms, LLC. We appreciate Mike jumping on board with us and sponsoring yet again. He may be here today to help us. He's one of our staffers we can always kind of count on, so we appreciate him. For all your hauling needs, call Mike, 870-926-2119. He wants to wish the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run.
Energy Infusion Center, downtown Corning, Arkansas. Great friends of ours, and more importantly, great people in our.
And we're back here with the bottom of the 4th inning. Following this game, it'll be ICC, Izard County Consolidated, and Cedar Ridge. They'll play for the regional championship. Not sure anybody had. That's a hard hit there by Stone out to right field. You got Murray trying to track that one down. He slips and falls. He gets up, gets it in quickly, though, to his cutoff. I like Jagger getting out there pretty far from shortstop, too.
Yeah, the ball found the gap. Hard hit ball.
Or second base, actually. I apologize. Rex is that short now. I apologize. That was a good hit there from Stone. You know, and it's got to be tough for that kid right there when you got a family name like you do, and siblings in the Major League Baseball. Everyone's just going to expect so much out of you. And I know it's got to be hard to kind of have your own identity, but the kid's done a heck of a job.
Yeah, I think he's got his brother playing for the Savannah Bananas and Dodgers both, right?
Well, I heard that. I don't know if the Bananas thing is true, though, but I did hear that, though. I heard that yesterday, actually.
I heard that as well. And so, yeah, there's a lot of high expectations. But, they tell me, I've heard once again the coaches say the kid's an all-around good kid, head screwed on straight, doing his own thing, good teammate.
Pitch a little high from Jackson Jett. I don't know how many pitchers the Bobcats have used in this 2-day span. Now, remember, yesterday was not supposed to be a 2-game set for us, but Mother Nature had different plans. And, I just wonder, and again, we're up here, obviously, we're homers for the Bobcats, but it's probably something I'm making excuses. But I just wonder if such an emotional victory like that.
Yeah, baseball is just an emotional game anyway. It's takes a lot out of you.
You have that, and then you get, I don't know what it was, maybe a 2-hour break in between or 2.5-hour break, and then you're right back at it. And I know these kids are young, best shape of their life. I get that too, but there's got to be something that plays into that as well. Of course, Cedar Ridge had a game as well. I know theirs was a little bit different outcome. Ours was like a darn roller coaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Left and right.
Yeah, that takes a lot out of you.
That pitch is inside for Smith.
And that pitch prior to this, when you saw, Jackson broke the curveball off in the dirt and TJ blocked it, great form. Shoulder over his knees, blocked the ball, used his chest to kick the ball in the dirt. Ball in front of you, runner in scoring position.
You just think in a general term, you've got to be a little crazy to be okay with something, getting your chest out in front of something coming that hard.
Use your body.
You got – either there's something a little loose up there in the wiring, or you're extremely brave or crazy. One of the three, and it may be a mixture of all three. I don't know, but I tell my son that all the time. He's still young, but he's catching too, and he loves it. I don't know why. I don't know where he got it from. I never caught. I did a little in Babe Ruth, but not much. Don't know where he got it from, but he loves it.
Well, that goes back to leadership too, right? Most catchers are the leaders of the team, because they're seeing every play in front of them, setting defenses. And they want to be involved, and that's the price they pay to do that.
That's right. And it's funny you say that because I'm sitting there thinking of it ties the quarterback over at Buffalo and the point guard too, so that kind of makes sense. I mean, he's kind of the vocal leader there, and that makes sense being the catcher, I guess. But, boy, I hate watching kiddo behind the plate every time one fouls off of him and hits off of him. You're like, oh, gosh. Of course, you better have a good washing machine too.
Absolutely. Well, there's one thing about TJ. I mean, he's all-around good kid, but there's nobody going to question his toughness,
Never. No, not even flinching on that one. He jammed him. Great pitch there. Couldn't quite get it. Coming up is Jagger going across in time. Not quite. Very close. Bang, bang play. We'll watch the replay. That's a heck of a pitch right there, and very weak contact, and sometimes in baseball that happens. It's
the ball just found the hole, right?
It's like Richardson earlier at the mound when he had that.
Yeah.
There's no telling how hard that ball was hit, and that's an out. And there's no telling how soft that ball was hit, and that's a base hit. That's the maddening thing, or the beauty of baseball, I guess.
Yeah, that ball probably came off Jackson's bat, probably 90 miles an hour, right?
At least, yeah. And you see Seth Smith coming way in here from the first base side.
Yeah, the infield is in, play at the plate, not trying to give up any more runs, so the ball's on the infield. They're going to try to get the ball, play at the runner here at the plate.
And remember, there are run rules even in regional baseball too. Keep that in mind. I think is it 10 after 5? Is that right?
I think yes.
So keep that in mind. Obviously, they're playing this as if it was a 1-0 game right now, and I love that. Hey, these guys aren't quitting. They're not giving up. We're tinkering with some different pitchers and things of that nature, but they're not giving up. Get guys in different positions right now, but hard hit. That's a great shot right there from Mann. And here's the thing. If the infield's not in there, honestly, that's probably an out. They almost caught Stone there at second. Or not Stone, I'm sorry. That's actually Durham. I apologize.
Yeah, so that's 10 runs. So we're going to have to score some runs or next at bat, or this will be over.
Yep. And here's the thing. I mean, Riverside has done this to a lot of teams this year. I mean, a lot of teams. And that's what made yesterday so even though it's postseason baseball and anything can happen, you kind of expect the unexpected. But still, it was kind of a shocker when you seen ICC with that 5-3 lead late, and you're thinking, surely not. But they did. That one does get by TJ there. Goes to the backstop, and that'll advance both runners. But, I said this yesterday, Joe, and I don't know if I was talking to you or Michael Smith or somebody. This was before our Cedar Ridge game. I said, I don't want to be the team tomorrow that's got to play an angry Riverside team after a loss.
No, absolutely. Ben had his team coming to play today.
Yeah.
Not taking away from our kids by no means, but, they're mad, right? You know what I mean? They come in mad today. They come in to make a statement. They're like, well, that's just not supposed to happen, and we're gonna show everybody that we're the big dog on the block here.
Yeah, when you're a top shelf team, you usually don't lose those back-to-back games like that, especially in tournament setting. And you can kind of see today Riverside flexing their muscle.
But I'll tell you one thing, Andy, though. I can promise you Ben Hogger's not looking forward to playing Corning Bobcats for the next 3 years.
No, he's
not.
not.
He is not.
I heard that yesterday from some Sloan-Hendrix folks. I had Cedar Ridge's coach talking to me about our team yesterday, and he said, "You got to be kidding me. Y'all are starting that many freshmen?"
Yeah.
and it's really neat to hear these other schools show your team that much respect, because just like us, Joe, nobody's seen it coming this year, and it's neat to see that. That curveball goes in, but base hit by Timms. That's going to score one. Hoggard's going to hold the catcher man at third. 11-0's your score.
And that's not to take away anything from Seth or Reed McMasters by no means. I mean, I'm going to see those kids leave because they've been team leaders and been coaches on the field this year. But I can promise you ask Ben or any of these other coaches that, man, the next 3 years we're not going to look forward to playing Corning. And the other side of that, flip side of that is Coach Kyle's going to have a hard time scheduling non-conference games next year too, because nobody be wanting to play Corning.
Yeah, I mean, you go from being the hunter to the hunted. You get the bulls on your back all of a sudden. And it's funny you say that. So I was talking to Ben Hoggard. This has been a few weeks ago. Well, no, it was last week, district tournament. He said, I was talking to him. I said, man, that was a huge win. You've had a huge one this year, but against Valley View. I said, that's a big win, Ben. He said, dude, it was a big win. But he said, afterward, he said, I couldn't get anybody to schedule us.
Yeah.
He said, we needed to pick up some games. I couldn't get anybody to say yes.
Yeah, nobody. Well, what you'll have to do is you'll have to go up a conference, right?
Yes, yeah.
Coach Kyle, he'll have to go up.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, obviously, because, yes, non-conference is important, but in the grand scheme of it, obviously, you got bigger goals, and your conference is the biggest thing there. So even if you do have to go up, I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, we played Westside this year.
Yeah.
I feel like we played somebody else that was I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Yeah, but we played Westside a couple times, you know. And so, no, you're right. It's not a bad thing, and it pushes your team. That's what you're about, push your team until you get to this time of year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the goal, is to get here into state to play. And the bigger the stage, the more relaxed kids should be the time they get to this part of the season, right?
That's true. And here's something else about that. If you can do – this is what's so important about this year in my mind, them getting to state in this game yesterday that happened. You do that in consecutive years, and I don't want to jinx them in the future, but if you can do that in consecutive years, all of a sudden you've built a culture. It's expected. If the kids below them just assume that's how it's supposed to be. We haven't had that for a few years, and this group right here has an opportunity to really change the dynamics of Corning Bobcat baseball for the future. Just from a mental aspect of it, hey, we're supposed to be there. That's Corning Bobcat baseball now.
And look how loose they are. I mean, they're out there smiling still. They're pumping. They're pumping Eli. Eli's going to be on the mound. Eli, right? Yeah. They're pumping Eli right up. They're still into the game. They expect to be here. They're still having a good time, even though where the runs at. They understand what's going on here. They don't like it. But they'll learn off of this, and they're not out here mully-grubbing around or anything like that. You know?
It's certainly every game's important now, but this is not the end of the world here. Losing to a Riverside, team in this third-place game of the regional tournament, the third game in back-to-back days. Seth Smith, I seen him talking to Jagger, talking to Eli. He's still out there being a leader.
Yeah, he was out in Eli's. Eli, I don't know what he said, but they all kind of smiled when he said it.
Yeah.
So he just said something to make the moment loose, right? To where Eli's not on a mound trying to vapor lock here. He's trying to keep his head in the game. So I don't know what he said, obviously. And he might not want me and his mom to know what he said either.
That's right. That's planted out to left field. There's something about keeping it loose. Listen, don't get me wrong. You want to be hard on these kids to have an expectation, but baseball's supposed to be fun too, and especially at this level. I know Coach George told me the other day at districts, he said he did something that maybe he didn't normally do. He let them listen to music on the bus ride. He said, I wanted them to be loose. And it's kind of cool. And I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way to do it as a coach, but it's funny how there's so many different avenues there for that. But I do like them being loose, like you said.
And, Eli and Jackson, Bryce and Murray, they're typically not been pitchers this year, and they're getting to pitch in a regional state tournament game, and this will be something they'll take with them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And then maybe, who knows, next year they got to pitch, and so the stage is not going to be any bigger than that, what this is right now.
And, the parents love it too. Listen, this Bobcat community really supports its athletics, really anything, but especially its athletics. And these parents come from a long way, and they'll take off from work. They'll do whatever they got to do. And, of course, when they go and they get to see their kid on the mound in a game like that, that's awesome. They love it too.
Oh, that's a good pitch. Good pitch. Didn't get the call on the inside.
I was going to say, I'm not sure where it was.
I think sometimes the umpire keep looking away. Catcher sits out away.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the pitch catches the inside part of the plate. Catcher's not set there.
Kind of
surprised the umpire off a little bit. I think that's what took place.
Yeah.
Unfortunate thing was caused that walk and a run here, though.
Yeah, 13-0. And is there a run rule after 4 innings?
I think it's 10 after 5, I believe.
That's when it starts? Okay. I knew the 10 after 5 was just make sure it wasn't no 15 after 4 or anything like that. Emery, the left-hander, and this Riverside lineup, they've got the righties and the lefties now. They are a tough matchup. That's golfed way out to center field. That's Reed McMasters now coming way up. And I don't know if the wind may have got a hold of that. And look at the arm on RMC. He threw that one from a good ways away, and darn near got him. Timms does slide in safely, but
he's got a cannon for an arm, and even when he pitches, the ball comes out of his hand so natural, so easy. If you see some kids pitching, it looks like it's a struggle ball just getting out of their hand.
Yeah.
The ball just explodes out of Reed's hands.
Some guys, they're out there, and it looks excruciatingly painful for them.
It does.
And not for Reed McMasters.
No, it looks like he's just an all-around natural.
He took his first step back, and then those long legs had to come up. He got up in a hurry, though. I'll give him credit. And honestly, he's made some good plays. I'll never get over that play yesterday. That over-the-shoulders catch.
Here comes another one for him.
Right on cue. And look at Murray backing him up there. Reed's making it look easy out there. Listen, that's your tallest kid playing center field. How about that?
Yeah. Typically, your best arm's usually in the right field too,
Yep.
But center fielder, in Reed's case, a senior taking charge, out in the outfield, kind of being a quarterback, if you will, or whatever.
Look how far these guys are shaded. Look at the left fielder right now and the center fielder. I guess that's Jackson at left and Reed at center. They are really shaded over. And this is Smith. Now, he planted one way over the head of Eli Wright earlier, if I'm not mistaken.
He hit the ball hard. He barreled it up, center cut it.
We don't talk about assistant coaches much, but Drew Ratcliffe, I feel like, is a really good balance to Coach Kyle George.
He's a very calming presence, right? He's I think the kids love him,
They do.
Kind of gravitate towards them. He's all about the kids.
Eli, what a snag for the third out of the fourth inning. I want to stay here because I want to talk about Drew. It may sound silly, but sometimes when you're baseball coaches, you want to kind of do that good cop, bad cop kind of routine. And it feels like, of course, Coach Kyle George is going to make sure he's on them pretty hard. And it seems like Drew's kind of there, like you said, that calming presence that's kind of the off-center of that.
Yeah, it was either good cop or bad cop.
I'm not going to mention that at all. I think we both know what you were. You don't even have to ask that, Joe. I think we all know.
No, but you're right. Drew is, and the kids love him too. You know, they respect him. And what I like about Drew and Kyle too is they're not showing the kids up, right? I mean, you have some coaches that wants the game to be about them.
Yeah.
And
in a public setting too.
Yeah, you know, and they're not out there trying to embarrass kids. They're not out there. They respect the kids. And every coach I think Corning has, I think they fit that mold, because we've all seen coaches to where the coaches want to make the game about them, and they don't hesitate to embarrass a kid.
Yeah,
you know,
in front of his peers, in front of his family.
Family.
Yeah.
But that's not what we have here, and Drew certainly fits that mold of not wanting to. I mean, just like right here, we have
David Raper.
Going to come get he's going to get a bat at the regional state tournament.
I love it.
You know, and
I love it.
And that's just out of respect Kyle and Drew has for the kids here, to give them actually a chance to say, hey, listen, I stepped on the field during a regional state tournament. And I think all of our coaches here, whether it's, I'm Hine, West, Farrell, Coach Poe,
we've got a good system right now for sure.
I think so.
Yeah. And talking about Drew is Drew has had to wear many hats. I mean, he's got volleyball, he's got basketball, he's got baseball, and I know that can't be easy. But I mean, he's done it, and I've never once heard him complain about anything he's ever had to do.
No,
I really haven't. And of course, being an assistant coach isn't always the most fun part of it, because you're the one usually doing a lot of the work. Typically, that's just how that works. But Drew does a good job. We're glad to have him. I know he kind of started that career over, I guess, at Piggott, over across the county there. And how about David Raper getting an opportunity here?
I'm really glad to see this. I know his teammates is too.
Yeah, and we got a new pitcher on the mound too. Let me see if I got that number. It's Caden. The last name we couldn't pronounce earlier, so we'll just go with Caden. Boy, he can hum it. Caden didn't get the call there, a little bit low to David Raper.
I think Riverside's got about 35 deep on the pitching staff, right?
I think you're right. It certainly feels like it, that's for sure. Man, that ball is coming in quick. You see David's reaction?
He's like, if you hit me, you're just going to hit me. I'm going to take first base. I'm good.
Exactly.
He's just like, he's not afraid, right? He's staying in there.
I would have hit the deck on that one, I promise you.
I would have. 90% of the kids would have been walling around on the ground and stuff. And he's like,
Same thing.
I hope you hit me, because I'm going to first base. I'm going to steal second here.
There you go. I like it.
That's his mentality. And the kids just love him in the dugout.
Oh, I know. Those Raper boys have always been a blast. That one's inside. Man, I'm going to tell you something. Is that not the ball 4? Okay. He wanted to hit. He said, Coach, no, I'm good.
Yeah, he's like Albert Bell. Remember Albert Bell?
Yes, Albert Bell,
I'm going to stay here. I'm going to hit.
Yeah, I'm going to hit instead. No, I'm good. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. We got Brady Russell up here to bat.
Yeah, Brady's just an all-around good kid.
I'm going to tell you something. He does a good job of tracking fly balls, as Brady Russell.
Yeah, and he's rotating in and out of outfield to right field to second base, and that's just so hard to do.
It is.
He adapts so easy.
Yeah.
Kids love him, in the dugout as well. Just an all-around good teammate.
Small in stature, but a big heart for sure. That one's low. Did you see the catcher?
Yeah.
Man held that one there a little bit longer than put his head down.
Yeah.
Caden coming in, number 22. I got to give credit to Richardson for Riverside, the starting pitcher. Now he's at third now. He did a phenomenal job. He had control of a lot of his pitches, and
I thought we was going to put him on the ropes in the first inning. He had
we had first and second. 20-something pitches.
20-something pitches. I thought 4 innings here.
And a strikeout call.
I think that got generous for the pitcher there.
Yeah, on the corner there for sure is what we'll call it. That was a curveball, good-looking curveball. We just felt like it might have been a little outside. But back to the top of the lineup we go, and we talked about needing to score some runs because there is a run rule, even in the regionals. Jackson Jett with a runner on first. That pitch comes in for a strike at the knees, a little cheese at the knees, if you will. And a good day for baseball. We'll say that, though. Weather's just about right. Out of the stretch. And the pitch out in front of it. Hits it to the shortstop, over to second base, over to first to turn two. They got it, 6-4-3. And that's going to end the ball game. And what a way to end it if you're Riverside on a double play. How about that? That was a quick turn by the second baseman.
Yeah, as a grandpa, I don't know. I'll debate the bang play at first.
That's right. It's tough to be okay.
But I'm looking at it through a grandpa's lens.
That's right. That's right. Got to give credit to Coach Hoggard. His kids bounced back after the loss yesterday. You had a feeling they would, no matter who they played. You had a feeling they would, and they came out, and from the very beginning, they made sure that this game wasn't going to be close. And, Joe, you mentioned it best. They kind of nickel and dime their way and kind of pecked here, pecked there. And before you know it, we're down 14.
It is. But the good thing about if there's a silver lining today, Coach Kyle, Coach Drew, they're going to have the kids ready going next week when we travel to Palestine or Forest City, wherever we're going to end up at. They got a good thing about baseball. You know, you can turn around and right the ship. You know, there's nothing happened today that can't be righted.
That's right.
Get the pitching back on track. Get the bats going again. Let's go play baseball. Kids going to expect to win next time back out. Enjoy the weekend and come back and play baseball.
I'm just excited that we're in the state tournament. This is so exciting to still be alive this time of year. It's just a neat feeling. It's good for the fan base. It's good for the community. Of course, good for the kids. I'm just excited about that, and I can't wait to see and they probably already know who we're playing. I don't personally. I don't know the other end of that bracket, but I can't wait. But when we find out, we will post that. We'll make sure everyone knows. Remember, though, this is AAA's postseason. This isn't the home team. It's a AAA, so you will have to buy your tickets online before you head there. So just a heads up, because Palestine or Forest City, either way, is going to be a good tote. Make sure you buy those tickets. As a matter of fact, if I remember, Palestine didn't even have very good signal, so even if you wanted to buy your tickets on your phone, you may not be able to. So get those tickets ahead of time. As soon as we hear the day, time, opponent, and specific location, we will post that. Joe, I've enjoyed having you on today,
Appreciate
man.
you too, man.
Yeah, thank you,
Appreciate
sir.
you too.
You did a great job.
And I don't know about that. I think you're too kind, but like I told you, my 7H politician, I guess, coming out of me.
That's right. You have been a man of many hats, and you've done a lot of them extremely well, just like you did today. Anything you want to say before we get off?
No, I appreciate you. Appreciate what you do to the community, and the byproduct, the residual effect of what you do. Corning Sports Report is you can take a look around, and you have parent engagement, right? It brings out the winning aspect. You'll see more kids want to start playing these sports, and what you've done is been a huge part of that because you've engaged the local community.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. We never thought it would ever be this when we first started. We really didn't.
No, I can remember when you first called me years ago that, right out of the gate told me what you was going to think about doing.
You probably thought I was an idiot.
Well, I didn't think that by no means, but also, if I would be brutally honest with you, I didn't know it was going to rise to this level, and I know it's a huge sacrifice on you and your family because, like today, your son's playing ball, you're not getting to watch it. So it's a huge sacrifice on you so people like me can, I'll go home and, I'll sit here and watch. I get bored at home and I'll pull up games. I'll pull football games up.
I'm the same way.
I might watch 2 or 3 games, sitting there at night. And Lisa's like, are we going to watch something else? I'm like,
no, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
I'm the same way. My wife always says the same thing, and I don't know what it is about that. And I wish we kind of had something like that back when I was younger, and back, obviously when Crash was younger and Andy, but it's been a blessing, and this community supports when they feel like there's a good cause or someone's down. Man, they rally. It's like an army. It's not a village. It's an army, and we just have good people in our community. I'm so proud to be a part of it, and I'm thankful. We get so much support, and for people like you, Joe, you've been great to us. So many have been great to us, and I can't say thanks enough. The guy behind me is maybe going to venture into something. I ain't going to break that or anything, but he's a heck of a dude, and I hope they support him too when he does. Matter of fact, Marcus, do you remember when we first started? I called you, and y'all where were y'all? It was ASU, and I said I want to come follow you with notepad, and you said, come on, it's Hooten's Kickoff. It's people like you that helped us when we first started that I need to thank, and I appreciate you for doing that for real, Marcus. I appreciate what you do. Joe, if you don't have anything else to say, I think we're going to close this thing up, my friend.
No, it's been a great run for the Corning Bobcats. Enjoyed it. Got a little bit longer to go, a little bit more business to finish here, and it's going to be exciting to see how it plays out.
Amen, guys. AAA, we've been approved for a while, so we will be there. We don't know what day yet or time, but we will be there. Hoping we have a good stay there. Maybe we'll bring some different shirts and a hotel stay or something involved. So, guys, for Joe Jett, I'm Andy Earl saying good night, God bless, and as always, go Cats.
Supported us here at CSR, except this time with a little different twist. That's right. The Energy Infusion Center is such a unique place is the right word. Only one of 500 in the world. You heard that right. Only one of 500 in the world on the planet Earth, on our globe. And we've got one right here in God's country, Corning, Arkansas. Holds up to 12 people per night. Guys, that's a lot. Take your whole family if you want to. In fact, it's only $150 to spend those 12 hours overnight. How about that? That's cheaper than most hotels, guys. Plus, the important stuff, you're getting the healing factors that your body really needs. I love this idea. In fact, some of our Bobcat athletes that you are watching right now in this live stream went there to help heal their bodies after games. Downtown Corning, Arkansas, at Debbie Rose Massage, it is Energy Infusion Center. Reach them at 573-480-7819, and they're wishing the Bobcats the best of luck.
Hey, it's never too late to be a sponsor here with us in the postseason. Only $100 to get your ads ran and support our, hopefully, crossing fingers, long run here for Bobcat postseason baseball. Get hold of myself, Andy Earls. You can call, text me, 501-413-9715, or whatever platform you're watching this on. Message us on that page or channel, and we'll get a hold of you. Wishing the Bobcats the best of luck in this baseball postseason run. Welcome to our CSR 2025 postseason baseball sponsorship video. I want to say thank you to all the fine folks that jumped on board with us and supported this Bobcat postseason baseball run. Your live production will be back on shortly. Hey, we're excited about this one. A new business in town in God's country. It's owner-operator Amber Murray and her company Indulge. And let me tell you a little bit about them. They're Corning's elite facial and lash spa. They're located at 615 North Missouri Street there in Corning, Arkansas. And they're proud to provide a range, and I mean a long range of superior services, including basic facials, gentlemen's facials, hydrofacials, anti-aging facials with LED light, microdermabrasion, dermaplaning, lash extensions, lash lift and tints, brow wax with tinting, permanent jewelry, spray tanning, and more. All you got to do is get a hold of them, book an appointment. Feel free to call or even text. How about that? An owner giving out their cell phone, 870-809-0229. Again, that's Amber Murray, Indulge at 615 North Missouri Street, 870-809-0229. She's wishing the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run. Next up on our sponsor video slideshow is a familiar face. It is the Sherd family. We appreciate them for jumping on board yet again with us here for the Bobcat postseason run. They want to wish the Bobcats the best of luck and that they are extremely proud of the season that they've had this year, and we're extremely proud of them for always supporting us. You see number 7 there, Rocket Man Rex, as we like to call him. That's Rex Sherd. Obviously, they're wishing him a great, long postseason run. The Sherd family from Corning, Arkansas. And another familiar face with us here at CSR. It's Nutrient Ag Solutions, always supporting us. We appreciate them, and especially Mr. James Varvel, who does so much for the community and also for Corning Athletics. We sincerely appreciate him. Nutrient Ag Solutions, want to wish the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run. Here's a good friend of ours, a staffer of ours, and also a great sponsor of ours. It's Mr. Mike Townsend and his company, Mike Townsend Farms, LLC. We appreciate Mike jumping on board with us and sponsoring yet again. He may be here today to help us. He's one of our staffers we can always kind of count on, so we appreciate him. For all your hauling needs, call Mike, 870-926-2119. He wants to wish the Bobcats the best of luck in this postseason run.
Energy Infusion Center, downtown Corning, Arkansas. Great friends of ours, and more importantly, great people in our community. That's Miss Debbie and Bud Hill, who have always supported us here at CSR, except this time with a little different twist. That's right. The Energy Infusion Center is such a unique place is the right word. Only one of 500 in the world. You heard that right. Only one of 500 in the world on the planet Earth, on our globe. And we've got one right here in God's country, Corning, Arkansas. Holds up to 12 people per night. Guys, that's a lot. Take your whole family if you want to. In fact, it's only $150 to spend those 12 hours overnight. How about that? That's cheaper than most hotels, guys. Plus, the important stuff, you're getting the healing factors that your body really needs. I love this idea. In fact, some of our Bobcat athletes that you are watching right now in this live stream went there to help heal their bodies after games. Downtown Corning, Arkansas, at Debbie Rose Massage is Energy Infusion Center. Reach them at 573-480-7819, and they're wishing the Bobcats the best of luck.
Hey, it's never too late to be a sponsor here with us in the postseason. Only $100 to get your ads ran and support our, hopefully, crossing fingers, long run here for Bobcat postseason baseball. Get hold of myself, Andy Earls. You can call, text me, 501-413-9715, or whatever platform you're watching this on. Message us on that page or channel, and we'll get a hold of you. Wishing the Bobcats the best of luck in this baseball postseason run. Welcome to our CSR 2025 postseason baseball sponsorship video.